Yo, yo, yo. What up, my peoples? Oh, man, it's Monday. Hope you guys are doing well. I know Mondays are not the funnest of days, but hopefully we'll have a day that will be able to make it a little bit better for you here in the channel and in the community, you know what I mean? Turning over from the weekends is never fun for most people, and we're here for you. You know what I'm saying? We're here, dude. We're going to do some video gaming news this morning for December 4th, and then we'll work our way into what should be day 5 of Alan Wake 2. All right, so hope everybody's doing well. I'm ready to get into it, man. Let's try to find out. I don't know that we're going to have a ton of news for the video gaming news segment. Yesterday was pretty bleak. Past couple of days have been pretty bleak. I don't know that we'll have a ton over the next couple of days, but I think Wednesday, especially Wednesday through the rest of the week, it's going to be pretty jam-packed with the fact we got GTA 6 trailer hitting Tuesday morning, tomorrow morning, and then we've got the Game Awards happening on Thursday night and stuff like that. The rest of the week's going to be pretty packed with news, probably, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Let's go ahead and dive in here and see what we got. Cool. Let's go do it. We jamming. Yo, 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 Fair, what up, dude? What's up? How's your morning going, man? Put on your bunny ears and go to Bullet Hell, an indie Metroidvania Tevi. We've seen a little bit about this in the past. The game looks pretty good. Let's take another look at it. Take another look at it. Need coffee. Need the coffee. GTA 6 leaks may have come from Rockstar employee's kid. Wait, what? Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Isn't that usually the case? Look, a good help desk is as proactive as possible, right? And they, you know, good communication, disseminate information through multiple channels, let people know what's going on, but you always get those people that don't read what they're supposed to read, don't listen to what they're supposed to listen to, and then they come back with the questions that have already been answered. Those are the most mauling customers for a help desk ever. Those are also usually the people that think that they know more than the help desk workers know. In my experience, you know, it's like, oh, Jesus. That's why I have such a hard time with, like, customer interaction. Some people are cool. Some people are cool. There's a lot of people that are not, man. And I just can't deal with the lack of logical reasoning and critical thinking that most people fail to incorporate in their day-to-day lives, dude. It drives me nuts, dude. It drives me nuts. I know. I've been there, dog. I've been there. We've talked about it. Take a look at this. What? Utah gamers 8th most likely to cheat in the nation. Yeah, but who's the most likely? Interesting. I thought it was saying most likely at first. I was like, why Utah? That's weird. That's true. Yep. Yep. Yeah, that is unfortunate as well. Yeah. Yep. I've also seen a lot of times, personally, I've seen a lot of times that come down to lack of manpower also, unfortunately. It's one of those deals where it's like, level tier 1's like, yo, this needs to be addressed by a higher tier. Higher tier's going, no, it's you guys, it's you guys, it's you guys. And a part of it's because they surface level look at it and go, this can't be us, this can't be us, even though it probably is. And it's partially because they don't have time, just like tier 1 doesn't have time, just like, you know what I mean? Everybody's just undermanned and doesn't have to. It's a flipping domino effect. It's terrible, you know. I've seen it a lot. It's unfortunate. Undermanned, strapped for time, strapped for resources. Flipping sucks. I know that's not the only case there and stuff, but I've seen it a lot. Sounds like a great Monday, brother. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry, man. PS5 Pro could be bundled with GTA 6, but there's bad news for PC gamers. What, you mean that GTA 6 is going to cost as much as a rig? You know. Steam survey suggests players are leaving 2K monitors behind. Really? Switching over to 4K. I think some of this is just going to be due to the fact that 4K monitors are becoming more budget friendly, probably, you know. Oh, really, dude? Oh, that's bad. That sucks. That sucks, yeah. Yeah. That sounds like a play that I would be familiar with. Not because I would pull it, but because I've seen it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh no. GTA 6 trailer release looks set to benefit gaming crypto tokens. Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah. Yeah. Steam users free to resell their digital games? Court rules? Wait, what? This has incredible long-standing implications. I hope it's not clickbait too. This is the thing. This is one of the biggest issues that people have been reluctant about, the transition of physical to digital ownership. You know what I mean? Digital media. And a big part of it is because a lot of people with video games have always enjoyed the ability to resell their hardware and software, right? I'm not one of those people. I like to hold on to my stuff. So it hasn't been as big of an issue for somebody like me. And for other people that are, you know, very, very nostalgic and you know, like to hold on to their gaming stuff, that is a thing. But I think there's definitely a need for, if you own it, you own it. You should be able to resell it, whether or not you own it a physical copy or a digital copy. So can I have 2 mountains? Kappa? I mean, nowadays, yeah, dude. Be who you want to be, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not gonna judge. You can have 2 mountains if you want, bro. Yeah, same here, Ferret. Yeah. Yeah, I've never really been one to like sell my stuff back or anything like that. What up, Pinky? What's up, dude? What up, brother? So, but I think this is so if you think about what this means, this has always been a bit of an area of contention and controversy for the gaming industry as far as from a consumer standpoint, because it's so much easier to deal with that side of things if it's physical, right? Nobody can tell you can or can't. There are a lot of resale stores, things of that nature. You can just sell it online. You can do whatever you want with it. But if it's a digital copy, you can't do that. If it's in your account, it's in your account. You can't do anything with it really, besides maybe get a refund if you're within the refund time if the game sucks that bad, you know. But what this is going to do, if this is true, and we're going to pull this up and read this, talk about this. If this is true, this has implications for the rest of the industry too. This could actually result in like a domino effect of all digital platforms having to follow suit. If a court has ruled this way for Steam, then that means that sets a precedent for the rest of the industry. It doesn't matter if it's Nintendo, it doesn't matter PC, it doesn't matter if it's you know, we're talking about like any platform, any console, anything like that. It means that this is potentially going to just break the levee here and mean that if you own a game, you own a game and you can still do whatever you want with it. And that's the way it should be. You can give that game to somebody else. You can sell that game to somebody else. You know what I mean? Just like you've always been able to do with physical games. You know? A 7 stream streak. Look at this legend. Holy crap, bro. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it. PC build's going. Yeah. Did you even sleep last night, dude? HDMI cable to have 2 monitors again? What did you say? Do you have your HDMI cable? Do you not use DisplayPort? I'm a DisplayPort fan, personally. I like DisplayPort over HDMI, but that's just me. Yeah, that sucks. I didn't think about that. Yeah, word. Gotcha. Yeah, I just run DisplayPort on, but what I would end up having to do is if I got a 3rd or a 4th monitor, I would have to end up running HDMI because my graphics card only has like 2 DisplayPort, 2 HDMI on it, right? So I would end up having to run basically 2 DisplayPort, 2 HDMI if I was going to go any further. And I kind of want to. I want to get a 3rd monitor set up. You know, set up in here. What I'll probably do is run 2 verticals and keep my gaming, you know, obviously horizontal, but put a vertical on each side. Something like that. Eventually just surround myself, you know. Totally didn't just miss my bus stop. Well, I'm glad that you didn't. Sorry if we distracted you. Dang it. Yeah, Nintendo Switch just quietly released the best Batman game ever. This is going to be a really good article for us to cover today. I'm really excited about this. This is good news for us as consumers, man. Yep. And this is the way it should be. We've just gotten so used to the fact that you can't do anything with your digital copies that It's just the way it is, you know? So, but it needs to change. It needs to change. We should be able to do whatever we want with them, you know? That has some negative implications for the business side of it, but it's the way it is. If you own something, it's yours. You're supposed to be able to do whatever you want with that. Whether you want to gift it to somebody or you want to resell it or whatever. That's the way that is. You own it. So we'll see how this works moving forward, and we'll read about this. Gaming Bible is very clickbaity, so that's probably why Ferret was talking about that. I try to avoid Gaming Bible stuff because they do tend to be pretty clickbaity with their articles and stuff, but this is definitely worth checking out to make sure it's not clickbait. Yeah, and the Switch has released the Arkham Batman series, so great series, and it is on Switch, and if it's performing well on Switch, that's a great series for people to have. Absolutely. We knew it was coming, though. It hasn't been super quiet, actually. So I don't know why they're saying it quietly released. You know what I mean? Yeah. I need to play it, dude. It's an iconic series. It was actually hugely defining for the way combat, like melee action combat games evolved in the industry moving forward. And I've owned them for quite some time, and I've just never made time to play them. We might have to try to fit them into the schedule next year. We've talked about this a lot. By the way, I've already been seeing here in the US, I've already been seeing the Xbox Series X consoles even being bundled with Diablo 4 being sold for $350. It's already out there. Oh, yeah. Well, you know how I'll be playing it. I think here's the thing. A lot of times there are things like that in games, and the fact that I never play them on a less hard difficulty means that for me, I wouldn't even know the difference anyways. You know what I mean? So, you know me, man. I'll be playing it on the hardest difficulty it'll let me play on, and most of the time I don't even know the difference because I don't play my games on anything different. And usually the way I find out is because you guys tell me that there's a difference. You know what I mean? That's the only way I would know. So really, I just play it the way it gives it to me on the hardest difficulties, and it is what it is, you know. That's interesting. Yeah, that's cool. Just a little bit of an increased handicap there, huh? Did you play it on anything else besides hard? That's really the only difference, yeah. Or are you just aware of it, the difference? Don't think I went beyond hard. Is there a difficulty setting beyond that? I was actually addressing, like, did you play on a setting lower than hard and then also play on hard? Just trying to get a sense of how you felt about the jump in difficulty there. Oh, okay. There is a nightmare. Interesting. Good to know, dude. Thanks. GTA 6 in-game footage leaked by child of Rockstar Games employee. We've got this up. I'll pull this one as well, just to make sure we get all the info here. We've got some leaks. By the way, my whole family is getting sick right now, unfortunately. Yesterday, my son, or day before yesterday, my son was throwing up. Yesterday, my daughter wasn't feeling well. My wife woke up this morning. She's not feeling good, so I'm probably going to get it last. God dang it, dude. I just got over being sick too, man. Not too long ago. So, but it's being passed around here, dude. It feels like it's very contagious, and so I'm hoping that I've got like some immunities going on from being sick not that long ago, but I'm not very hopeful that it's actually gonna keep me from grabbing that bug, whatever it is. Body aches, fever, headaches, nausea. It's a bad one, dude. So here's the hoping. Yeah, I know. Here's the hoping, dude. I really don't want to have to miss any time right now, because I missed that time at the end of the month, last month for Thanksgiving. I got a little bit of time. I'll let you guys know, actually. Yo, one second. Sorry. I think that my days off for the we're jamming right now. I like this. Yeah, and I appreciate it, Ferret. Thanks, buddy. Again, I'm really sorry about your friend's loss and all that, dude. That sucks to hear. I'm really sorry about that. Yeah. That weighs on me a little, dude. Whenever my friends are hurting and stuff, dude. So yeah, it's hard not to, though. I know that. Yeah. That weighs, dude. That sucks. So I am sorry, man. For the holidays, it looks like I'm probably gonna be. The stream will probably be down like either the 22nd through the 25th or the 23rd through the 25th. So not quite as long as I was down for the Thanksgiving holiday, but there'll be like 3 to 4 days where the stream will be down. So be ready for that. It'll be that weekend. So either the 22nd through the 25th. It'll probably be the 23rd through the 25th. Probably about 3 days. Yeah. Yeah, I try, dude. I mean, because I feel it. I think that's one of the things I've tried, I've become more aware of as I've gotten older. I think as you get older, you deal with, and you've dealt with more life situations, life stuff. I've dealt with loss in many different forms. And it doesn't ever really get easier. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be immediate to you for it to have an impact on you and stuff. And so I think that's the important thing is I think there's, it doesn't even have to be loss. I think just for people to know that they have people out there that care, I think that's an important thing. I think that's lost in a lot of our world today, Yeah, it does. Everybody deals with it different too, and so it's I think it's a tough thing to address. I'm like one of those people that like I kind of like break down in silence. You know what I mean? That's whenever it gets me. As long as I'm around people, I kind of like brave face it, and then whenever I'm alone, it kind of tears me up, which is probably not a good thing. You know what I mean? But that's where it starts getting me because I don't have distractions. I'll be alone, I'll think about stuff, and then it starts kind of tearing me up. But I think that whether you're talking about loss or you're just talking about people dealing with struggles or tough times or what have you, I think that it's important for people to know that they have people there for them, you know, which is what this place is always supposed to have been about. That's why I try to let people know that, you know, that's what we are and that's what we do, and try to lift each other up. And I think that I've dealt with enough of that kind of adversity myself and not had enough. I've gone through times where I felt like I didn't have enough support. You know, I felt lonely in it. That I know how that feels, and I don't want other people to feel that way. You know what I mean? So if we can be something more for people when they're dealing with hardships, man, then that's what it's about, right? Yeah. Trying to just lift people up, be a support system, care about one another, and enjoy the world of video games at the same time, brother. That's just a win-win. But I do hope that your friend's doing okay, and I know that, again, it doesn't just affect immediates. You know what I mean? It can affect you know, friends, a large circle whenever somebody passes. You know, loss can. So, I still get busted up. Even just like, even something like a pet, dude. We had a dog that passed, man, probably around 5 years ago now, and it still sometimes gets me, dude, thinking about that dog. I loved that dog. I loved that dog so much, and it still sometimes just rips me up thinking about it, man. You know, it was such a good dog. So I don't know. Interesting. The man who erased his name, the latest in the Like a Dragon series, they're saying is a fun game that falls short of series standards. Interesting. It's a very notable series that people tend to love, you know. So I would hate to see it be falling off quality-wise for all the people that are fans of it. Yeah, I think that, you know, that's definitely one of those things that you want people to do, you know. And one of the things that obviously I rely on a lot is humor, you know. I try to get people to laugh, and quite often a good way to do that is by you know, bringing up a lot of those times that were fun and humorous and things, to get them to think about the good times rather than dwell on the bad times. You know, and like what loss is. And I mean, to be honest, dude, I would rather, whenever you know, whenever I pass, whenever that may be, I would much rather people celebrate my life than my death. You know what I mean? And I think that that's a better way to remember somebody, and that's the way I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered for who I was while I was alive, not just be, you know, mourned for being gone. And I think you're absolutely right. That's a better way to address it, dude. No doubt about it. I want people to party, dude. I want people to party down. Have a good time, you know. Talk about the good times, remember the good times, laugh, have a good time, and not be busted up. I know it's easier said than done, but that's what I would want. I guess, dude. I guess, yeah. I mean, you can. There are different cultures that you know what I mean, that tend to do it that way, and I haven't necessarily ever been exposed to it myself, but I've had that sentiment about it for quite some time, you know. Not that I think about my own demise or anything, really, you know, it's not something that like I dwell on, but I have thought about it, and I would much prefer people just try to enjoy and remember the good stuff rather than dwell on the negative aspect of me being gone or whatever, you know. It just seems like a better way to do it. I don't know. But it's hard to do. It is hard to do because loss is always hard to deal with. So it's easy to tell people to, you know, party for me. Have a good time. And then when everybody's like going to be sad, you know, or, you know, most of the time people are going to be sad about somebody no longer being there. It's a tough thing. It is. It's like my there was my best friend in the world, dude. His mom, I called mom. And you know, I lived with them for an amount of time. Whenever I was an older teenager and stuff, and she was just an amazing person, dude. And unfortunately, she died of cancer a number of years ago. And she was just always smiles, dude. Always. Even when times were tough, and even when, you know, there was turmoil and stuff, always smiling, always finding the brighter side of things. And just an absolute pleasure to be around all the time. Never judged. You know what I mean? Just always found the good in people. Just such a kind soul and an amazing person, and made everybody around her smile, you know. And I miss her dearly. And it was literally impossible for me to like focus on the good times because it was so brutal, you know, to deal with that loss. So I understand it. It's hard, you know, for somebody like that, even that was just so full of life, you know. Oh man, dude, absolutely changed my life, no doubt about it. And somebody like that even like I said, you know, is easier, you know, you would think would be easier to focus on the good things and stuff. It's still just so difficult because the loss is so catastrophic. It hurts so bad, you know. Brutal, just brutal. PlayStation will soon remove Discovery content from your library even if you paid for it? What? Oh. AMD's launching a 5700 X3D CPU in Q1 for the AM4 socket. Interesting. Huh. We've talked about this. Well, no, we kind of haven't. Witcher 4 will build on Cyberpunk 2077's open world freedom. Isn't The Witcher 4 being developed on UE5, though? They're not using their in-house engine anymore, I don't think. We'll look at that. Let's look at that. First, look at John Cena as Peacemaker in MK1. All right. Yeah. I was actually I was going to talk about that in that article too, Fair. That's one of the things that I've always enjoyed about AMD more than, well, let's be honest, dude. Mainly what we're going to talk about there is Intel, right? Intel has always been terrible for consumers on that front, because anytime they come out with a new processor, it's a new chipset, it's a new socket, it's a new motherboard, right? You can't flip an upgrade. Really. It's just, it's rough, dude. Whereas AMD has always been pretty committed to giving you generations of the same socket, right? So that you know, if you buy into that socket and that chipset and everything in the early stages, you have the ability to not have to upgrade your entire rig. You don't have to build a whole new PC. You can still use that same motherboard, and you're going to be able to upgrade significantly, like CPU wise and stuff like that, right? Because they continue to evolve, but on that same chipset and socket and everything, which is something that I've always gravitated more towards, because it's more consumer friendly, man. And we'll talk about that in that article. I've always liked that more about AMD. It's just nicer, dude. And, you know, to see them taking this new technology and running it back to their old, you know, they didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? They didn't have to do that. Obviously, the test bed for it initially was the AM4, right? But that was something that I don't think a lot of people were expecting them to, like, keep pushing out maybe X3D processors for the AM4 when the AM5 is there. You know, I wasn't expecting a whole lot of that, but it's nice to see. We will be seeing this trailer tomorrow. Everybody is losing their flipping minds, dude. Soup! Yo, I've got articles up, Soup, that you're going to be interested in. What up, friendo? GTA, yeah. Gaming Bible, so clickbaity, dude. Yeah. How you doing, friendo? Happy Monday. Back from the coding classes? Let's go, dude. Coding hype. Dude, I haven't done any coding in a hot minute. What language were you coding in? Would be a slight downgrade. It depends, probably, Ferret, actually, because I have a 5900X as well. But the X3D, that level 3 memory cache, dude, is actually a bump up in some different kinds of applications and potentially in gaming for you too. It just depends. It just depends on how it benchmarks, I think. You know what I mean? I think overall, yeah, it's going to be a downgrade. But that level 3 cache memory bump is huge, right? So there are certain applications that would probably benefit, and I think gaming would probably benefit as well. That's also something to take into consideration. You're right. And we'll see benchmarks come out for it. But I think that the big thing is, like, obviously I'm not going to consider going to like I've got a 5900X. I'm not going to consider going to a 5700X 3D. You probably won't either. But for anybody that's running like an AM4 socket for like something pretty below that, that's going to be a nice price point CPU and a significant upgrade, you know? HTML and CSS, it's hard. Don't think I can memorize everything. Yeah. Intel, I think that they both have their place. I've been an AMD fan for a very long time. And one of the things we were just talking about is the thing that Intel doesn't do nearly as well as AMD does and never has is the ability to give their consumer quality of life for upgrades on different generations of their CPUs, because they're always changing their sockets, and so you're always having to get a new motherboard. AMD commits. They commit to the same socket for their customers, so that you don't always have to upgrade your motherboard and stuff like that. There's differences. And AMD's traditionally been a bit more of a more bang for your buck kind of CPU. If you want, back in the day, it was like if you wanted all the performance you could get and you had the wallet for it, Intel was the way to go. That's not the case anymore. AMD has, if not leveled the playing field, maybe even jumped Intel a little bit, especially with this X3D stuff. Depending on applications. Intel's naming scheme is easier. See, I disagree. I find it actually really, really confusing. I find Intel's really, really confusing, dude. You're just looking at it like that, but if you actually take the entire name into... Well, the X3D is easy. I guess it just depends on how you've been focusing on the industry. Like if you just look at Intel as an X3D is like their new architecture feature. So it's like their die with like the level 3 cache upgrade is all the X3D means. You know, it depends on how much I think you've been educated or educated yourself on one or the other. Probably if you've traditionally been an Intel fan, it's probably easier for you to be acclimated with the naming conventions of what Intel is as opposed to AMD, whereas I'm not. I've traditionally been an AMD guy, so it's easier for me to remember and be acclimated with AMD's naming conventions than it is Intel. You know, I think it probably just comes down to that, to be honest. But there's always been this fight. This is the way it goes. There's like the Intel fans, the AMD fans, and just like there's like PlayStation versus Xbox or PC versus console. And I think for me, it's more about like making sure people are getting the best bang for their buck. You know what I mean? If I'm not gonna knock somebody for being an Intel fan as long as they're not getting scummed, you know. Oh, yeah, exactly, Soof. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, you know, for me, I'm not about dogging somebody for where their interests lie, as long as they're getting a solid piece of hardware, solid piece of software for what they're paying for it, you know. Where I'm going to start calling out companies is whenever I find them doing scummy things for us as a consumer, right? True. Look who's here. Happy Monday, friendo. Yo, did you get my message? Yo, I think this is probably you in Discord, huh? Hold on. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, yo, that was actually really good of you to figure that out. Bro, that was, how cryptic was that though? I told you I wasn't going to make it easy on anybody. Yeah, AMD's always been the budget man's chip, right? I mean, even I think today they even still are. You know, I find them to be less expensive. Intel's prices have had to come down because AMD's quality of their chips have come up while their prices have still been respectable, you know? So Intel has had to kind of acclimate to that pricing climate to an extent. Both are great chips. Both are great chips. The reason I've stayed with AMD is because, you know, I've been a fan of AMD for a long time. I've used their chips forever. I do have, like, my laptop has an Intel chip in it, you know. I've used Intel PCs and stuff, and I don't have anything against them, you know. But I have found AMD to be a bit more customer friendly, a bit nicer about stuff, and you've always gotten more bang for your buck out of their components as far as I'm concerned. Price versus performance, AMD was always better. I'm not saying that they were performing over what Intel was, but the performance for what you paid for it was well over what Intel gave you. Well over. Oh, yeah, well, consider me not surprised. I mean, now we've got like all kinds of issues with, you know, Intel's got their issue. And I mean, I remember, was it Intel that like the internal, the die, the thermal paste wasn't even touching or whatever? It was like, what? You know, like if you opened the flipping die up, the thermal paste wasn't even touching the flipping, like the chip and the flipping, what do you call the metal on the top of the die or whatever? Dude, it was crazy. Like there's all, but it's not like AMD hasn't had their own issues too, right? I mean, like AMD's got their flaws. We've read issues about their stuff. So again, I'm gonna call out any company for doing things improper. Anything that's unethical, you know, I'm going to call a company out for doing that. But as far as somebody just using their preference of whatever, as long as they're getting their money's worth, hey, man, more power to you. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to dog Intel. And I think Intel makes quality products too. They've done scummy things. AMD's done some scummy things too. I think you're right. For AMD is traditionally a more thermal or a more energy consuming product, though. They have always been. I think they're getting better about it, you know. But these X3D processors too are much more fragile in that realm too. If you don't have good thermal dissipation on those chips, that level 3 memory can get crushed, from what I understand. All that like architecture they have set up for that, to have all that level 3 memory, if it overheats, dude, it can crush those dies, crush those processors, man. So I don't know. They've all done stuff, dude. You know what I mean? Which is why we need to call them out for it. Yeah, happy Monday, True. Happy Monday. So flipping cryptic. I know. I know. Yeah, I know. I told everybody, though, I was like, look, I'll give you 3 letters. And it's going to be cryptic. Oh, dude, True. I was just talking about this. So my boy was feeling a little bit better yesterday, but not great. My daughter started feeling bad last night. My wife woke up with a sore throat this morning. I'm about to like get some boards, dude, some 2x4s and flip and nail them to the, you know, if I didn't love food so much, dude. Yo, Reject, what up? If I didn't love food so much, dude, I would just like board up my door to my streaming room here, you know what I mean? Yeah, I appreciate it. We were hoping it was just like a little bug he got and it wouldn't be contagious or anything, but apparently it's not a good thing, dude. Yeah, thanks, Sue. Appreciate it. So we'll see how it goes. I feel like I'm always the last one to get it, man. And anytime something like this goes down, like the kids get something, you know, the kids always get something first, then it gets passed through. One of the kids will get it, the other kid will get it. My wife rarely gets sick. She's got a pretty amazing immune system. But then I always get it last. And if my wife woke up not feeling good, her throat was hurting and stuff, I was like, oh no, dude. I'm definitely going to get it if my wife got it. I mean, there's almost no like way to avoid it. If my wife got it, dude, it's like almost inevitable that I'm going to end up getting it. It's just a given, man. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I hope not. I was sick here recently, man, pretty bad. So I'm hoping I might still have some immunities going on that are going to keep me from getting too bad here. But yeah, I know. Pump that vitamin C. I know, man. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it's that Bluetooth virus. You know what I mean? It just it's soup. We'll see how it goes, dude. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's not a bad one, but I really don't want to miss any time for being sick either. You know, whenever I got sick before, man, I really powered through it. it was around Halloween time, and I powered through. I didn't really miss any stream time, but dude, I felt like crap. And I didn't want to miss any stream time because I knew that I was going to be missing for Thanksgiving. And then I just missed time for Thanksgiving. So I really don't want to get sick right now because I'm going to be missing. What I was telling everybody before was the stream will probably be down like the 23rd through the 25th. So like 3 days towards the end of December here, we'll be down for the holidays, okay? So like 23rd through the 25th, I think, is probably the days. If not, maybe the 22nd through the 25th, but probably 23rd through the 25th. So plan on that, okay? I don't want to miss any more time than I'm taking for the holidays. So I've been trying to, like, even when I was sick, just power through, you know? We'll see how it goes. It sucks. I hate the family being sick. I hate being sick myself. It sucks, dude. It's terrible. What about yours, True? How's your kid doing? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to cover all this GTA stuff in just a moment. I've already got like 2 or 3 articles up about it. We've talked enough about that. Let's go look at our other search here. Most of my coding experience was like, I've done a little bit of Python. I've done a little bit of C. I've done a lot of Java, dude. I did a lot of Java coding back in the day. What was the other one? I've done a little bit of something else too. Yeah. I've had the Rona like 3 to 4 times. God dang, Soup. That's brutal. Better. Thank goodness that was the cough though. Yeah, like I said, dude, I've still got a cough from being sick around like a month ago. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I can't get rid of it, man. It feels like I'm never going to be rid of it. Dude, having the Rona like 3 or 4 times, that's brutal, man. Yeah, for sure, True. Well, thanks for asking about mine, too. Yeah, appreciate it. New patch fixed the Rona bug. Is that what it was? Yeah. You just needed that new upgrade, that patch. Got the immunities in there. Very. Yeah, no doubt, dude. Just turn your antivirus on, dude. You'll be all right. That's what Pinky always. Pinky's like, oh, dude, I have to turn my antivirus on so I don't catch anything. Yeah, look, the Batman, again, if you guys didn't hear, the Batman Arkham series is now on the Switch, which is dope. That's a great series. It's cool that it's on the Switch. Hopefully it's playing well. Dude, check this out. Yo, Ferret, the creator of Terraria, says the worst part of making one of the biggest indie games ever is that their wife likes Stardew more. Bro, that's awesome, dude. That's actually hilarious, dog. Yo, I'm not gonna read this whole thing, but I'm gonna link this for you. You met his wife too? Yo, sick, dude. I'm not gonna read that whole thing. That's a cool article though. That's pretty funny, dude. Best Buy's 12 days of gaming. Do they have this updated yet? I'll just link this for you guys. Best Buy's doing 12 days of gaming sales right now. I don't know if today is day 6 or day 7. They might not have this. This was updated December 3rd. So today's going to be a new deal. But if you check a little bit later, you'll be able to see what they're going to be having, okay? You can see they've already done deals for like Just Dance, Mario Rabbids, Sparks of Hope, some headsets, capture card, Elgato capture card, NBA 2K24, Spider-Man Miles Morales. We'll see what comes out today, but there you go. There's the link to this if you want to see what Best Buy is coming out with today for their next deal. Yeah, we've talked about this, dude. Hundreds of people be getting fired from ByteDance under TikTok, you know. Yep. It's like we almost can't have a news segment without talking about all the layoffs in the industry. It's pretty brutal. Yeah. Tomorrow, in the middle of our news segment, we will be watching, it's literally like 24 and a half hours from now, we'll be watching the GTA 6 trailer. It's going to be unleashed. I have it right here, unveiled on December 5th at 8 o'clock a.m. CST. That's our time here in the channel. We will be watching it live here. Come hang out. We'll check it out. We'll watch Soup's mind explode. Watching with my eyes closed. Nice. Yeah. That's funny. But we've got some info up today. There's some leaks that have happened. Yo, by the way, after 7 years, it's time for a new Deus Ex game, and Adam Jensen agrees, but here's the difference. If you're not aware, I'm not going to dive into this article, but it just so everybody's aware here what this means. This would not be made by the same company anymore, because if you don't remember, last year, Square Enix sold all their North American development studios along with the rights for Tomb Raider, Thief, and Deus Ex to Embracer. So, if Deus Ex was to be developed again, it's going to be developed by a studio under Embracer. Now they did get those North American studios, which means that it could potentially be developed. Who did the? Because I mean, it was Square was the one that had the rights, but who made the Deus Ex games? Was it Eidos? Eidos Montreal, dude. So these are, dude, I called it. I didn't even know, and I called it. So Eidos Montreal is now a development company under Embracer. All right. And doesn't mean Deus Ex couldn't come back and still be good, but it is under a different parent company now. So keep that in mind. And we all know that Embracer has been struggling, dude. Struggling hard. So, just something to think about there, you know? They could just remake it. Yeah, I mean, they could. Those Deus Ex games, the originals especially, dude, are really old by now, you know? The thing is, dude, that Deus Ex is a pretty iconic game. Like, I never really got into them. But, as with any remake, it is an iconic game. And there's a pretty big fan base behind those original games. And if they're going to remake it, they would have to do it right. You know what I mean? Stay close to the core of what those games were originally while still modernizing them. Kind of like take Dead Space remake, for example. I hate to call out EA for doing something well, but they did something pretty well, you know? And so, yeah, it could go over well. Those games are old. When was the original Deus Ex made? A new Vancouver-based EA. There we go. Studio. There we go, Ferret. Thanks, dude. EA. Sorry, guys. It's so hard to say that without. Why did this come up? I want to throw up. They're remastering the classic Deus Ex. What was the original release date? So about 23 years ago. 23 and a half years ago. Absolutely could be remade. Yeah, Soup, for sure. Yep. Bro, the Fallout Prime show looks pretty solid in my opinion. Pretty cool. We'll probably be watch partying that together. We jamming. Fans react to the Fallout trailer. If they hurt dog meat, we riot. That's funny, dude. The rigged awards. That's right, Soup. Yeah, that's right. The rigged awards, dude. Yeah. No doubt, dude. Yeah, I've actually got that. We're going to talk about that. It doesn't mean they're no longer good. Is that what that just said? Where was that? Hold on. Yeah, Steam survey suggests players are leaving 2K monitors behind for 4K. So we're going to talk about that. And I think a big part of what it just comes down to is probably the fact that, I said this before, we've got this article up. It's right here. I've already got it up. We're going to talk about it. But I think really what it comes down to is that as technology has been evolving, monitors are getting cheaper, just like TVs have and everything too, right? I'm running 2K. I'm running 1440p. You know, I have been for about the past 3 years. And my monitor's like 27 inch. It's not curved or anything. 27 inch. 1440p, 144 hertz monitor, and I enjoy it. I don't see the need to advance into 4K right now or anything, you know. But I think what it comes down to is that as technology evolves and it's getting cheaper, you see it all the time, right? Whether you want to talk about like, take hard drives for example, right? You remember when like solid state drives were stupid expensive because they first came out, but now they're like much more affordable, and nobody should really be buying HDDs unless you just need mass storage. Same thing with monitors, yeah. So it's like monitors are becoming cheaper and cheaper with newer technology, and we went from the evolution of like 1080p at like 60 hertz to like 2K at 120 to 144 hertz being the price of what old 1080p 60 hertz monitors were. Now we're getting like 4K monitors at over 200 hertz that are roughly what 2K monitors at 144 hertz used to be. It's just that evolution of like technology becoming more advanced and more readily available and not quite as niche as it was when it first came out. So the prices tend to come down, right? My monitor is a TV. Yo, I've been there. Yeah, absolutely been there. And so, I think it's just that it's that evolution. The next thing will be 8K, 8K monitors and games running at 8K. You guys know how I feel though. I'd rather have more frames than like resolution. I want the game to be smooth as butter, baby. If I can get the highest resolution I can get with it being just high frames and smooth, then awesome. But I want those frames. I want smooth gameplay, dude. If it looks great also, fantastic, dude. Alan Wake 2 struggling at 1440p or 4K, I'm sure. Yeah. Well, it depends. You know what I mean? It depends, Soup. So, you say, so why? But not every game is Alan Wake 2, right? Not every game is Alan Wake 2. And there are some games that can absolutely push 2K, 4K, and utilize like a 2000 series, 3000 series NVIDIA card and still get solid frames. So it just depends on the software, right? But you're right, Alan Wake, dude, we're playing Alan Wake 2 today, and I'll show you what I'm running. And thank God for DLSS. DLSS has been incredible. What do you think of ultra-wide monitors if you have limited desk space? Well, I think it's just something that you have to determine for yourself. Measurements are your friend. You know what I mean? Get out of flipping, a measuring tape. Get out of measuring tape. Here's my thing. Anybody that is going to be setting up a dedicated desk space, my advice to you is monitor arms. Monitor arms are so nice with many different axes for being able to tilt, rotate, you know what I mean? Lift, push, pull, all that stuff. It's incredibly beneficial to just, rather than having your monitors on a static stand that they come on. Oh, I hate the stands that literally, whenever I look at buying a monitor, I don't even take into consideration the stand a monitor is built on and comes on, because I immediately take it off. Immediately. I do not use monitors on the stands that they're designed to be, that they ship on. Their OEM stands or whatever. They're so bad. They're terrible. So my advice is find some nice monitor arms to, they clamp onto your desk, and then they give you a wide range of availability for just moving your monitors where you need them. The VSA mounts are but almost every monitor incorporates that mounting style now, because it's the standard. But you do want to make sure it has that. You're right. Yes, Ferret. But an ultra wide monitor, limited desk space, you need to see. Here's the thing also. How wide of a monitor are we talking? Because this is something, how wide is it? Is it curved? These are all things you need to take into consideration. Because I can tell you, my desk space right here, the way I sit, I probably sit about, 2 feet roughly away from my monitors. And at 27 inches, I would not go any wider from my main monitor without it being curved, because the peripheral view of it for playing games. That's me. I wouldn't be comfortable with it. Get a 55-inch ultra widescreen. Well, here's the thing. If you do now, there are a lot of screens that if you go pretty big, if you go big enough, you can literally turn them into a vertical orientation and then split screen them. You know what I mean? Using an LG Ultra Gear 24-inch. See, my side monitor that is in a vertical orientation is a 24-inch. You know? So hold on. Let me see if I have this here. So, this is where my setup was. My setup isn't in this location anymore, but you can get an idea of kind of what my setup looks like here. Okay. So this is what I'm rocking. Okay. And again, like my chair would be right here. This is my monitor. This is a 27-inch. This is my 24-inch, right? I do have pictures of my table, dude. This is the table that I kind of, so this is the table I was talking about the other day. So I did take pictures after I got this set up last year. So my table, this is not I actually built this shelf down here. This is not a shelf that goes on this table. I actually built, braces underneath to hold this piece of wood. I went and bought this piece of wood. I cut it. I stained it. I did everything to put this piece of wood down here so that my my desktop could fit down here. And it's stained up. It looks almost identical to the top of it. It's pretty nice. But yeah, it slides right under the end of my desk and everything. But this is what I think that it's important that people take into consideration here is, from where I sit, I'm probably about 2 roughly feet away from my main monitor, right? Whenever I game, like right here. And you can see my monitor arms and everything too. I recommend getting things like this. These monitor arms are so awesome, dude. But for me personally, if I was going to go with anything bigger than a 27-inch, I would want it curved. As well as if you start going too big, you're going to need to start sitting back to be able to catch everything in your monitor, right? How close you sit and the curvature of your monitor all has to be taken into consideration for if you're going to be able to catch everything that's happening on your monitor in your peripheral view, right? Because if you go too big, you're going to be like doing this whole thing while you're playing to try and look at everything, or you're going to be turning your head. You're going to be missing a lot of stuff that's happening because it's just going to be too much for you to look at. Otherwise, you're going to have to pull your monitor back or pull your seating back to accommodate for being able to look at everything that's happening in the monitor. You know what I'm saying? So you always have to be kind of keeping that in the back of your mind when you're addressing whether or not you want to upgrade to a larger viewing space monitor wise for what you're doing with your setup. And I personally would like to increase my monitor size, but I won't do it without going curved. I think curved reduces the amount of peripheral, it pulls your peripherals in, right? 48 inches is fine. Well, this is what I was going to talk about here. So look at this. So if you did something like a 50-inch, and as you can see, let me talk about this real quick. If you have not tried a monitor in a vertical orientation, you should. Not your main monitor, but a secondary monitor in a... Now, I'll put a caveat in there in a moment. I'm about to show you why. But your secondary monitor, if you can run a secondary monitor in a vertical orientation, it plays so much better. Because most websites and documents and things like that you're viewing on a PC, they're actually designed better for a vertical orientation. You can see so much more stuff. You can see so much more stuff on a vertical orientation monitor than you can on a horizontal. Obviously, it's not as good for viewing like entertainment, like movies, gaming, stuff like that. But for like any kind of documents, websites are built better almost always for this kind of layout. It's really, really something that people should get acclimated to using, is a secondary monitor in that kind of layout. Well, now let me point something. This is what I was going to get to. So check this out. Take like a 50-inch monitor and look at it in a vertical orientation, okay? A lot of monitors, if you take it and you put it in a vertical orientation, it can be split into 2 different monitor sections, right? And so where's a good example of this at? Samsung does it. Here, hold on. Yeah, so see these like curved Samsung monitors? What you can do with these is actually split these into different monitor sections. You know what I mean? And what it allows you to do is basically, instead of running a multi-monitor setup with multi-monitors, you're running a multi-monitor setup with one monitor. And a lot of these monitors, like Ferret's saying, they can split into either like trip monitors or quad monitors and stuff on a single display. So like this one, like Ferret's saying, he's noting can split into quads. It just depends on how you want to lay it out. But a lot of these bigger monitors, obviously, whenever most people don't think about it being able to be utilized like this. So basically what it would do is it would come up and kind of like curve over you a little bit. You know what I mean? But the stands are also made to be able to hold them like that. I would still recommend getting a monitor arm for them, but let me see if there's a picture that shows it. Did you find a picture that shows it being split, Ferret? Let me just put in oh, so you can see it right here. It's not in its vertical orientation, but you can see it being split into a dual monitor space right there, or a dual visual monitor space. Yo, there's a rando moat, guys. But so there's always the potential for these big ultra wide monitors to be utilized in a vertical orientation, but to be split into what would be actually multiple different horizontal monitors. Technology has evolved greatly, right? And so I think that everybody's situation is going to be a little bit different. You just have to know how much space you have to work with and what is going to work best for you, right? Obviously, these monitors are expensive, dude, right? But if money's not really an obstacle for you, this could be something that could work, just depending on what you need. Yeah. But hopefully that'll lead some people in the right direction. It just depends. Yeah, these things they're expensive, but it can save you a lot of space if you're limited on how much like horizontal space you have, but you've got more vertical space. It can give you a multi-monitor styled setup without having a lot of, you know, that wide space, you know. So I don't know. It's hard to say, Soup. A lot of it's going to come down to your own personal situation. You're going to have to do a little bit of research, education, self-education. You're going to have to do some measuring, and you're going to have to figure that out. There's not a whole, all I can really do is like kind of try to advise a little bit, point you in the right direction, and kind of put the ball in your court, if you will, and let you run with it. You know what I mean? You're going to have to math, dude. I know that doesn't sound fun. Mathing's never fun, really, but you'll have to figure it out, you know? Yeah, so, but hopefully that gives some, people some ideas of the different ways in which you can get, monitors have become very, very versatile, I guess, right? And so we're not just constrained to this, you know, well, if I want multiple monitors, I've got to have, you know, 3 horizontal monitors separately set up in my space, and I don't have room for that. There's different ways to address this, right? And oh yeah, a lot of those big monitors actually come with internal KVMs and everything now too. A lot of these bigger monitors come with like internal KVMs and stuff, dude, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, like switching boxes and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty nuts. Yeah. And you're gonna pay for these big boys too, though. You know, that's a little bit out of my price range, that's for sure. Z tier streamer, you know, budget not there, you know. But hopefully that'll put some people in the right path there, anyways. Yo, we actually watched the first 2 Hobbit movies over the past 2 days this weekend. It was really nice. We're gonna watch the last one this weekend. Yeah. Dream by for sure. Yeah, yeah. It'd be cool, but yeah. Not something that's necessary for me, absolutely. It'd be a nice quality of life thing, but it's not necessary at all. Hobbit movies were good, dude. I agree. And I hadn't seen them in a long time, and you know, we've had sick family members and stuff, so we've just been like after the stream and everything, just kind of hanging out in the living room, all cuddled up, eating food and watching Hobbit and stuff. You can't scroll without seeing GTA. I know, dude. I know. Yeah, it's absolutely everywhere. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we knew that was gonna happen. So I don't know. I had embraced for it. Yeah, I had prepared for that fact. Somebody has already beaten Baldur's Gate 3's new hardest mode in under 40 minutes. Jesus. Yeah, we knew that. Steam deal gives you 50 games for just $1. Let's take a peek at this real quick. Nightingale developer releases December update video. Cool. Let's take a look at that. Elden Ring meets Elder Scrolls 6, an upcoming free open world RPG. Let's see what that is. Gaming Bible's so clickbaity, dude. I'm scared of their stuff. Alright, let's stick with this, dude. Let's go. Let's turn this off. I know, token crypto stuff, dude. Give me a break. God dang, it's so gross. Let me turn the music off, man. Work your body, body. That was the name of that song, Work Your Body. Rock your body, body. All right, hold on. Yo, by the way, since I was already on these pictures and everything, let me just do a PSA here. Let me just do a PSA. How long has it been since you cleaned your keyboard, you savages? Huh? How long has it been since you actually cleaned your keyboard? You gross little monsters. Hmm? I go about every 4 months. About every 4 months, dude, I'll pop all my keys off. Wasn't very dirty. Yo, good for you, Ferret. Nice, dude. Yeah, mine was pretty bad last time. And I was like, I wonder how long it's been for most of community members. So I took this picture and I was like, I'm gonna call these people out. I'm gonna be like, yo, how long has it been? So I'm gonna start checking on you guys. You know what I'm saying? How long has it been since you cleaned your dirty little digit keyboard? You know what I mean? I just had it up already because of the Discord. So, how you take your keys off so easily? I love this keyboard, by the way. This Red Dragon keyboard, I love this thing. It's really easy. I've got a hold on. I'll show you this tool set I have. Hold on. So one of the things that's made it nicer, I got this little tool set a while back. I got it off of Amazon, I'm pretty sure. And really the reason I bought it is because it's very, very nice for a lot of different applications. You see all my bits in here and everything. Oh no, one drop. It's got a ton of bits in here. It's just like massive, you know. Lots of bits. And the other thing that it also has, where did that fall out of, dude? Why was that just flopping around in there, by the way? What a great word, flopping, you know? There it was. Why are you just flopping around in there? But it also has these. It's got like picks in there for electronics. It's got magnetic little boards for you to take screws out with and make sure that they don't roll away. It's got these like extendable screwdriver, little mini screwdrivers, mini screwdriver, extendable. It's got a normal size one that's extendable as well. And some of the other things it has is like some nice tweezers for electronics. It's got like a flexible adapter for like putting into places to use for bolts and stuff. It's got a lot of plastic, even one metal too, but just for doing things with electronics where you might not want to mess stuff up. You know what I mean? It's like a little small spatula, a metal one. There's plastic one, and then what I use for my keyboard is this. It's got like this entire. I'll show you where this flap was down over it before, but that's this entire side right here, and then these right here. These are both the same, but this is what I use to pull my keyboard keys off with, and I just pry them up. So it's like a little crowbar, actually, is what it looks like. You see that? But it doesn't because it's plastic, right? So you don't risk anything. And so I basically just start at like one end, and I'll just like pop one off. But this keyboard's really nice too. They're not too stiff, and I've popped all these keys off of this keyboard numerous times, and they never feel any less static than they have originally. You know what I mean? So if you're looking for a really nice kit, I would recommend something like this. Because it's got a lot of different. I mean, dude, I use this thing all the time. It's a nice kit, and it wasn't very expensive either. I think it was about like 20, maybe $20, something like that. It's a nice kit. You can find them on Amazon, and it's basically I just use one of those little plastic crowbars and just put a little bit of leverage under the key until it starts popping off. It's real easy. Yeah, and it wasn't very expensive. So, what was this? Hold on. Oh yeah, an actual key puller. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they make the actual key pullers and stuff too. Yep. Yeah. There are a lot of different ways you can pull them off. That's pretty nice, dude. Yep. For me, I just knew that I had those little like crowbars in there that were plastic. I wasn't afraid of them doing any damage to the keys, and basically if I just put them underneath and just leverage them, the keys just kind of slide up and off. So it's real easy. Yeah, that's how I do it. All right, we ready for some news? Let's get in here. Oh man, I got to get through this. I need coffee. All right, let's go. Yeah, I can try to find that kit on Amazon at some point too, and link it in like Discord or something. It's a nice kit to have for all kinds of different electronics and stuff. The amount of bits that are in there, the telescoping like screwdrivers and stuff. It's a really nice kit for a real low price point, man. Uh, oh, read your mind. Yeah, yeah. I'll have to look it up on like my previous purchases and stuff, and I'll find the link to it, and then I'll put it in Discord and stuff. If somebody wants to like at me in Discord, whether it's a DM or whatever, and just remind me to link that so I don't forget later on, if you wouldn't mind. Otherwise, you know me, dude. Three head. Steam deal gives you 50 games for just $1. Let's see this. New Steam deal. Part of the dollar collection sell on Fanatical. What are we talking about? What else in here? Rebel Galaxy Outlaw. Let's see what's on Fanatical real quick. Did they not link Fanatical? Wait, there it is. Dollar collections. Here it is right here. I'll link this to you guys. Dollar collections, bundles and packs from $1. Odd World stuff. That's cool. Rebel Galaxy stuff. Cook Serve Delicious. Right on. There's some stuff in here, man. Yeah. Take a look. See what you see if you might be interested. Yeah, thanks, buddy. Thanks for it. Yeah, I'll get you the link for it, man. Nightingale developer releases December update video. This game could be cool. It could also every time I see it, I'm like, dude, this has great potential, but it could also be total balls. The developer behind Nightingale has released a lengthy December update video detailing community feedback and game refinements, while also answering questions from the community. Topics like multiplayer party size, voice actors, and more are addressed. Excuse me. While developer Inflection also details some of the recent stress test findings. This comes ahead of the news. Another test is coming soon. Check out the video. How long is this? 11 minutes? Bro. You're not gonna let me full screen this? Well, hold on. Let's do that. I got Waluigi'd. I love how the mustache bounces and stuff. Yo, hold on. Oh, it's still there. Will it pull him in too? Oh, the Waluigi one doesn't work. Oh no, it's just the Wario one. You might have found it. Okay, cool. Thanks, Soup. Quit that. Yeah, that looks like it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. You actually found it. Bro, that's a little bit more expensive. Wait, that's a different kit too. Hold on. Why does it have condoms in it? That's a different kit, but it's the same. It's more expensive because it's a different kit, but that's the same company. That's the same brand. Yeah. It's that's an electric screwdriver set. There should be one that's not electric. Hold on. This one. This one. I think it's this one. Yep, this is it. Here, I got you. There's a red and a blue option. They're about $33. Here, I got it right here. Try this one. Yeah. Try that one. What? Did you not see the condoms in there? Aren't Zyme? What is? How do you? Is that Jami screwdriver? I don't even know. Soup. I don't even know. No, you did good. Thank you, True. Yeah, that should be it right there. Actually, this is it. This is it right here. Check it out. This is the kit. This is the kit. You actually found a version that was like for an electric screwdriver, so it was a little bit more expensive. So this is like $33. You might be able to find it might go on sale sometimes or something. I think I got mine on sale for a little bit less, but this is like their 201. You can get the red set or the blue set, and you can see that this is the exact set I have. See that? That's it. You did good. Yeah, all I had to do was scroll down and find the alternate products they make, and it was right there. Upgrading SSDs. Oh, you mean for like removing and putting in different storage drives and stuff? Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Uh-huh. No, thank you, True. Yeah, you made that easy. Now I don't have to worry about going back and doing it tonight, man. It's awesome. The built-in flashlight, yeah. But electric screwdriver though, look, dude, I'm an old school mechanic, dude. So, while yeah, sometimes we would have to use like a DeWalt for like panel rivet screws and stuff. Most of the time, dude, it was all manual for us. So I'm used to it, man. But I respect it. If you feel like you need an electric screwdriver, you do you. You know what I mean, bro? I'm used to the whole manual screwdriver labor, man. That's been my jam forever. Yeah. So yeah. I don't think those have the ratcheting to them, but I have another kit that has a ratcheting screwdriver in it. So if I want the ratcheting screwdriver, I just pull it out of my other set. Does that one have the ratcheting? I can't remember, dude. I can't remember if it does or not. Are those ratcheting screwdrivers? The real reason I bought it initially was because of how many bits it has. The amount and variation of the bits was incredibly useful. I don't know if these are ratcheting. I don't think they are. But that would be the only thing I would say this that can really make this quite a bit better would be the rat, because I enjoy the ratcheting screwdrivers a lot too. But the extension, the telescoping of the shafts, the extending shafts, those are pretty awesome. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh, it has adjustable torque. Nice, dude. Yeah, that's awesome. How many bits did the electric one come with? Same amount? 200? Or was it less? Like the extending shafts. Capital. 150? Nice. That's close. Or they're right there by each other. Yeah, I mean, to each their own. If you've got the money and you like the electric, 120 bits, 150 tools, yeah, it's nice. I don't think you go wrong with either one. I think it's just a preference thing, you know what I mean? Sure. I went with this one because it fit everything that I needed, you know, had everything I needed. And I already have a ratcheting screwdriver in another set from a really old, like, computer maintenance set that I have. I've got a nice ratcheting screwdriver in there that I didn't really care about needing a ratcheting, so I just went ahead and bought this one. But hopefully, you know, if you guys need something like this, dude, I use this thing all the time for all different purposes, by the way, not just for electronics, but it is very, 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 very good for electronics, man. I will say that. So, check it out. Yeah, and thank you both, Ferret and True, for helping me find that. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Cool, that's good. Let's go here. There we go. There we go. All right, let's watch this now. The developer update, 11 and a half minutes.
Welcome back to another developer update. As always, we have a lot to talk about today, so grab your favorite beverage of choice and let's get started. Before we jump into the previous playtest,
is it loud enough?
We have announced that we are doing a server stress test before launch next year. We need as many people as possible to log into the game and try to break our portal network. Now, whether or not the server,
let me know if it needs to be turned up or down, okay?
Or if they fall over, this is the most effective way for us to evaluate and make any adjustments for the early access launch in February. Unlike other playtests, we're going to try accommodate as many people as we can for this one. So if you haven't already, this will be a great time to test that early Realm experience. Please note that this playtesting process is completely separate from the previous one. This means that if you previously filled out
the premise behind this game seems really, really neat.
The game, you do need to sign
but I think it's going to depend on how they implement it. Are they able to actually like bring it to fruition the way that it sounds like they could?
You must get the new build through the Steam beta.
I love ratcheting. Ratcheting wrenches, ratcheting screwdrivers, you name it, dude. Ratcheting is where it's at, dude.
You can already sign up for the list
Drew's
using
absolutely
the link in our
right.
description or by going to our Steam page.
So we recently wrapped up another closed playtest. This one was
Bro,
shorter
she is
than
all
previous
up
playtest.
in that flipping camera. Holy crap.
From November 3rd to the 7th. And even though we were only live for those few days, we still saw nearly 12,000 realm walkers in the realms, which is almost double the amount of our previous playtest. We know a lot of folks wanted the playtest to last a little bit longer, which we appreciate. But with the holidays coming up very soon, and as well as early access launch right around the corner, the shorter playtest meant that we had more time to implement any feedback that we received and for the studio to take a break over the holidays. We've been asked if we're planning to do any more playtests of the full game, and at the moment the answer is there is no plan for that. Currently we're only planning for the stress test, but if anything changes, we will definitely let you all know. As always, we want to thank all of you that have been able to play in the playtest and give us feedback. Your role as Realm Walker in Nightingale in this past year of playtesting has made a better gameplay experience for everyone.
I need to shave.
As this closed testing phase
I can't quit playing with my beard,
we
dude. It's not a
transition
good
into
look.
early
It's real distracting, dude. I'm a fidgety person anyways. And when I have a beard, I just mess with it all the flipping time, man.
In hopes of growing Nightingale
I need to shave.
the best it could be. So from all of us, thank you again, and we're so excited to move into this next phase with all of you. But for now, let's talk a little bit about the feedback we got on this last playtest.
God dang it, dude.
In previous playtests, we've had some issues with our player invite system, and we've continued to improve upon it by adding some more automation to it for the last one. Now, while there was still some friction points due to the amount of players that we invited, as well as
That's
being
true.
a late invite send, we were happy to see that overall, we were seeing significantly fewer errors, we had way less support tickets, and overall it made it a lot easier to address any of
See
the
that
main
vertical
issues.
orientation over
When it
here?
comes to the game experience itself, players were reporting that our building system
It
felt
looks like it's
smoother
probably
and
for her to do
intuitive,
art on,
and
actually.
the game art direction continues to get high praise, especially by our players entranced by our night
The way it's
skies.
set up. How it's like slanted backwards. It's more like how
We were
somebody would
excited to
like
see
draw.
playtesters sharing their screenshots with us in the
But I
private
could be wrong.
Discord. And we're showing some of those off to you right now. There's also appreciation for adding some quality of life improvements based off of previous feedback, such as adding long rest in order to skip the nighttime, as well as adding a link to the fuel menu directly from the campfire crafting UI, and adding a realm overview panel which shows things that can be found in that particular realm, as well as adding some additional details to the character creator, such as makeup. These are a few examples of our highest upvoted positive feedback from playtesters. One thing that's important to us is performance. Nightingale is constantly going through optimization as we continue to develop, especially as we lead up to the early access launch. So we were extremely happy to see that most players were saying overall their performance was better this time around. Optimization is going to continue, so we look forward to it getting better and better, and then we will share some expected performance for different build types in the coming months.
Yeah, Pinky?
So with these playtests, we're also very receptive to what can make
that
the
like a
game more
big,
enjoyable. So here's a few things we'll
aim
be
for the new
working on
PC and everything?
for early access launch.
Actually start doing some development?
This last playtest was that the aggro system was way too high.
Oh,
to the
sick,
point
dude.
where we were like, what's going on here? This doesn't seem right. We were seeing a lot of screenshots of players surrounded by either dead wolves, dead boars, or both. This intense aggro system was not intended. It was actually a bug. So let me explain what the problem was. Basically, in the forest realm specifically, you would have a wolf and a boar. The wolf and the boar could have met far away from the player, nowhere near it. So the wolf and the boar
They've
meet
actually got a
and
countdown
they
for like
fight.
20
The
plus
problem
hours
was that
for it to
when
start.
one of these
Jesus
creatures,
Christ.
or both
Yeah, I'll
at
pull it
the
up
same
here in a little
time,
bit, Soup.
reached 100 hit points or below, it's almost like they entered this survival mode. And the aggro
Yeah, 'cause
AI around the creatures
It actually kicks off in like
increased to 100
23
meters.
hours and
It
45
turned
minutes.
out that wolves and boars really don't like humans. So this aggro circle, this ring that would increase, would catch any human, any realm walker, whether the player was in line of sight or not. These two animals that had been fighting each other would stop fighting each other and turn towards the human. The human now became its number one enemy. So players were frustrated because they were trying to build, or, you know, they were nowhere near
Nice,
these
dude.
creatures, and all of a sudden they'd get attacked. So now we could look back at this crazy bug and all the
That's
crazy
funny.
screenshots, but rest assured, this has been fixed. Another thing we wanted to test
I bet people
was a
were
new hotbar
getting
UI. We tried to
pissed, dude.
simplify the hotbar
can't
from
even
what it used to
build!
be for better controller implementation. especially with the new offhand system. But players were pretty vocal about being able to see all of their items on the hotbar, or at least the ones that were
What's this
visible
flipping
before.
ghost
After
A
playtest, we
frame
did
all the way
revert
across?
to the previous hotbar where you can see all the items, and the team is working on a better way of implementing it for controller. So thanks to our amazing UI team for trying something new and taking the feedback from our players. We also encountered some connection issues, but
get
the
attacked,
reports
run towards
were
their
less
base and stuff.
compared
Yeah.
to previous playtests. And the good news is we have identified many of the causes. We understand that having connection issues is
Just have them all aggro on the base and just destroy it and stuff.
It is extremely important for us to be able to clear these friction points for early access. So to all of you that did have connection issues, thank you so much for all of the information that you gave us, because it did help. Aside from all of the frustrations, there were obviously still some placeholders when it came to
you're right. Yep.
or textures, and even some,
I think, which is why they're probably addressing it
worry,
very openly and being like, look, this was not intended. We have fixed this. We understand why it was like...
We'd like to provide some answers to some of the most commonly
a big
answered
deal,
questions
you know?
we've seen from not only
So,
playtesters,
that's probably why they're
but
addressing
also
it
from
very,
the
very
wider
openly.
community. Will round cards be sold
Blatantly.
as microtransactions? The answer to that is no. All round cards will be craftable in-game with no additional purchases necessary. Who is Puck's voice actor? It is Mark Warren. You may know him from Band of Brothers, Wanted, or other films or TV series. Why playtest when we're going into early access anyways? Player input is very important to us. In fact, one of our
As it should be for all
studio
developers,
values
dude.
is players first. The playtesting process was
I love to
incredibly
see that.
important to us to solidify a foundation for the game before it was openly played by everybody. It was streamed, made content, reviewed, and most importantly, paid for. Are your playtesters
Yeah, I mean,
only
this is
creating
a game
for
as a service, dude.
No.
You know what I
We reached out
mean?
to a very small amount of content
This is the
creators
world we
who
live
have
in now.
playtested the game over the last year,
There's
but the
reason to
vast
be
majority
pessimistic
of our
anytime
players
there's
have
a
just been
live service
regular
game as
gamers
a
who were
service, you know what I
excited
mean?
enough to sign up. Are we upgrading
There's
to
reason to be
Unreal
pessimistic
9.3?
about it.
Yes, in fact, we're in the middle of
skeptical.
it right now. It's a lot easier to upgrade before players are in the game.
That's why
And also
we do
the
what we do
5.1
here, right?
and 5.2 updates
Flesh these
fit
things
in
out, stay up
brightly
to date
affecting
on what game's
development
doing what,
timelines.
which
So this
ones
is
are
the best way
worth
to
diving
ensure that
into.
we have the most up-to-date version of the
Yeah,
engine.
no,
How
absolutely,
many people
you
can
know.
be in a
But
party?
again, I think
At
that's
early
that's
access
one of the
launch,
big,
the maximum amount of people
you know,
will
that's
be
one of the
6.
big thing we
This
hit
was
on a
the
lot in
best
these news
amount
segments,
in
right?
terms of game balancing, as well as
Which ones,
performance.
you know, because I mean, there's an acceptable amount of that depending
This year has
on
gone
a lot
by
of different variables,
incredibly
you know.
fast.
And then there's a
We're
lot
all
of
so
unacceptable
excited
parts of
for
that.
what's to come. The team continues
that
to work very
we
hard
call
on
out here
addressing
a
lot
lot.
of the feedback and some of the major bugs from this last playtest, so that when the holiday season comes along, we'll all be taking a break, spend some time with our families, and recharge for the new year. So in 2024, we'll be back and ready to polish the rest of Nightingale for the early access launch in February. So thank you for all of your support throughout the years. There are only a few months to wait. Thank you for sticking with us.
This is our last developer update of the year, but we will be active in social media for another.
Okay, that's it,
couple
really,
weeks.
dude.
So make sure you follow it.
All right. Cool. So I'll let you guys read any of this that you want. Maybe look at the trailer again if you want. There's not much more left there. So, if you don't know what Nightingale is, I'll even bring it up here on Steam so you can take a look at it. It does have promise, but it is, you know, something I think could end up being either good or bad, just depending on the way that they follow through with implementing this kind of premise for us. You know what I mean? For what the game has to offer. So, yeah, interesting enough. I agree. We've been kind of paying attention to this game for a while, and I think that there's, you know, obviously open world survival crafting kind of game. It's got a pretty cool it's got some mechanics in it that are pretty wild with the, your ability to open different kinds of realms and stuff, you basically craft these different like portals for different realms. Sometimes the realms are very aggro, sometimes they're not. There's a lot of different things that can happen in these different realms. And it's got a pretty cool premise to it, I think, but it's going to depend on how they implement it, as to whether or not it's going to be something that people find to be very fun and engaging and interesting. And I think there's potential here for us to even maybe dive in here as a community and try this game out. But I think that's why we've been following it, right? We'll see. There's enough potential here for us to be following this, at least. Elden Ring meets the Elder Scrolls 6, an upcoming free open RPG, free open world RPG. What are we talking about here? Soulframe. We've talked about Soulframe. We've watched Soulframe. This is Digital Extreme's next game. Unfortunately, they have just basically crushed their own publishing arm. They have dissolved it. They've fired a lot of people. It sucks to see that from a company that has done, if you're not familiar with, Warframe, which is one of the better examples, in my opinion, of a free-to-play game over the last decade. We played it last year for the second time, first time on stream, but second time for me playing the game since it first came out roughly a decade ago. And the game's great. It's got a great community behind it. It's a very well-developed free-to-play game. The community behind it is amazing. And it's got a great economy. And Soulframe looks amazing. We've looked at a lot of this game in this community. There's been about, 3 to 4 months ago, there was some really, really interesting extended look at gameplay and stuff that came out. And I highly recommend taking a look at this if you're not familiar, okay? But yes, Soulframe looks flippin' dope. Highly recommend. As a matter of fact, check this. I'll even go a step further here. Make sure this pulls correctly. Yeah. So, this is the website to Soulframe, okay? And you can watch the cinematic reveal. They've got, again, I think the cinematic reveal is only like a minute and a half long. The new gameplay demo is available. The gameplay spotlight is this video. That's only a minute. There is on their YouTube page about an 18 to 20 minute long gameplay video. You might be able to find it down this playlist. I don't know. But it's very, very good. It gives you a great look at what's coming to the table for Soulframe. And I'll just link this for you guys as well, okay? Highly recommend. I think Digital Extremes is a good developer. It sucks to see that they're struggling a little bit and they had to get rid of their publishing arm, But I do think that Warframe's a great game. I think that I'm really looking forward to what Soulframe's going to bring to the table as well. Tech Radar. What the crappers, dude? Can I not? Yo, really? Shut your mouth. Okay, next article. PlayStation will soon remove Discovery content from your library even if you've paid for it, and there's no reason why. PlayStation has been emailing console owners with the news that Discovery content will be removed from your library as of December 31st. This includes all Discovery licensed content you may have on your PS5, even the content you have paid to own. In the email spotted by Eurogamer, PlayStation stated, as of 31 December 2023, due to our content licensing arrangements with content providers, you will no longer be able to watch any of your previously purchased Discovery content, and the content will be removed from your video library. Aside from this statement, no reason as to why content is being removed was given. This arrangement will remove hundreds of films and television shows from the online storefront, including the content you may have already paid for. Yet no efforts to explain whether or not you will be compensated for the loss were touched on either. Rather, the email continues, "We sincerely thank you for your continued support." For many people with a library of Discovery content, this update has come as a shock, especially given its short time frame to make the most of your purchased content. However, this scenario does reference the reality of all digital content and how quickly licenses can be revoked and content removed, which may sway your decision on the all digital future we appear to be headed towards. We have a good article on this front coming up, though, that could be changing a lot of the way the industry addresses this, and it's good for us as consumers. Hopefully, more information on whether or not you'll be able to get your money back for any purchases you've made will be shared soon. Otherwise, it'll be a case of making sure you've caught up on everything you plan to watch before December 31st. That feels bad. That feels really bad. AMD is releasing or launching their Ryzen 7 5700X3D in the Q1 of the coming year for their AM4 socket, which is actually pretty nice. We talked about this a little bit whenever I found this article. AMD has always been nicer from a consumer standpoint in giving their consumers more of a long-standing applications for their products. Whereas, and what I'm talking about is if you buy into, say, the AM4 socket very early on in its life cycle, and they continue to make products for that socket, right? So that you don't always have to be buying a new motherboard just to upgrade your processor, which is what Intel does. Intel almost always goes, well, we've made new processors, but it's on a new socket, so you have to buy a new motherboard, which basically means you've got to build almost an entirely new rig. Can you take some older components and put them in there? Potentially, but if your RAM's not compatible with that motherboard, then you need new RAM. Your GPU can be switched over. You know, your storage can be switched over, but it's still like half a rig you're having to build just to upgrade a new Intel CPU. Whereas with AMD, they've always been nicer on this front, where they commit to the consumer that if you buy into our sockets, we're going to give you generations worth of CPUs for that socket before we build a new socket and start producing new processors for that socket. Now, even though the AM5 is here and has been here, you can see they're still giving to their previous socket and customers of that previous socket, you know what I mean, with the AM4 and the 5700X3D. So this is one of those areas where I feel like AMD has always been a bit more consumer friendly, you know. AMD reportedly gearing up to launch new X3D processors, the first for AM4, breathing life into the platform with the Ryzen 7 5700X3D and 5500X3D. If you're not familiar with the X3D, these processors are housing basically about roughly triple the level 3 memory cache that normal processor, consumer-based processors have normally had. That's the big upgraded feature to Ryzen's processors, okay? We've already heard reports of AMD working on X3D processors for its previous gen AM4 platform, with new sources corroborating the leaks, and AMD will be launching its Ryzen 7 5700X3D in the first few months of the coming year. AMD's upcoming Ryzen 7 5700X3D processor will be an 8-core, 16-thread CPU with 96 megabytes of X3D cache on board. While we're expecting a base clock of 3 GHz and a boost clock of up to 4.1 GHz, this means it is 400 MHz slower in frequency over the Ryzen 7 5800X3D, which AMD is probably using slightly gimped 5800X3D chips to make the 5700X3Ds. No new information on the Ryzen 5 5500X3Ds, which are expected to be a more budget X3D offering as a 6-core 12-thread offering, which should have a 3 GHz base clock and boost of 4.0 GHz, excuse me. ECSM is confirming this on Twitter, posting up a bunch of SKUs that is seeing AMD launching in Q1 Zen 3 GT, Zen 3 X3D, and Ryzen 8000 APUs we've been hearing about for a while now. Yeah, this latest move is pretty exciting for PC enthusiasts. They're not only keeping the AM4 platform alive and kicking, but they're also introducing some awesome CPUs for the newer AM5 socket. Take the Ryzen 9 7950X3D, for example. It's a powerhouse with 16 cores and 32 threads, But if we're talking about the best CPU for gaming, the Ryzen 7 7800X3D takes the crown. This 8-core 16-thread monster outperforms the 7950 in gaming thanks to its single CCD design compared to the dual CCDs in the 7950X3D. But understand this, the 7950X3D is going to outperform the 7800X3D in a lot of other applications, especially things like video editing, things of that nature. But it depends on what you're going to use it for. You just need to educate yourself on where it performs better and what all you're going to be using it for. Just because the 7800 outperforms it a little bit, the 7950 in gaming, doesn't mean the 7950 X3D is not a banger of a CPU for gaming as well. It's just the 7800 has a little bit of an edge on it for gaming specifically. 7950 is a great processor. It does great for gaming and for a lot of other applications as well. For those who have an older AM4 motherboard and aren't looking to jump into the whole AM5 and DDR5 upgrade bandwagon just yet, AMD has you covered with the new 5700 X3D and 5500 X3D processors. They're a great way to breathe new life into your existing AM4 setup, right? So AM4s, if you've been running an AM4 setup and you've been using a Gen 1 CPU, could be a great time to go ahead and upgrade that PC. Could keep it running at a very high level for a very long time if you do that. Not that the Gen 1 processors weren't great, but the technology has significantly jumped since then, especially with these X3Ds. Yeah. These processors are expected to be quite wallet friendly, a welcome change from the pricier high-end options from both Intel and AMD. Keep an eye out for these. They're set to shake things up in the best way. Yeah. We'll look at some benchmarks once we get benchmarks that you'll probably have to. Yeah, and Ferret's talking about the Intel stuff I was talking about earlier, having to replace the main core of the system, right? As opposed to AMD being nice on that front. Just so everybody knows what's popping off there in chat. Thanks, Ferret. In Q1 of the coming year, once these processors drop, well, I'm sure we'll hit some benchmarks for them and see how they're comparing to other Intel and AMD processors, okay? Here we go. The Witcher 4 will build on Cyberpunk 2077's open world freedom. We know that Project Polaris is what this is called. We've talked about it quite often previously. We talked about this yesterday as well. Excuse me. The big thing I wanted to touch on here was one of the big thing we touched on yesterday was Geralt will be in this game. We don't know if because right here, like it says, although it remains unclear whether the main protagonist of this game will be Geralt, Ciri, or an entirely new character. It has been confirmed Geralt will be in here, but we don't know if he's going to be the main character anymore or not. And apparently they are. Now, what we need to know is I had heard they are switching over from their in-house engine to using UE5 for their games moving forward. Let's confirm that. I can't type. Geralt needs to be killed off. Hot take. Fight me. Yeah. CDPR switching to UE5. They're switching from Red Engine to UE5 and starting from scratch. Yep. This came out. This was just in November. Yo. Characters have to die. Unless they're villains. 1v1 and TF2. Yeah. Nah, villains can live. Villains can live, you know. Link needs to die. Geralt needs to die. Here's the thing. I'm actually okay with like Geralt. This I talked about this yesterday. Actually, I'm just kind of trolling a little bit. I talked about this yesterday though. The thing that's been nice for CDPR with the whole Witcher series is that obviously the lore behind Witchers is that they're very resilient and very long-lived kind of people, right? Or they've been altered beings, right? Is what they are. They've been enhanced people, right? And so can there be a villain without a hero? Well, it depends on how you look at it. Everyone sees Geralt as a bad guy, though. Nah, Geralt's more of an anti-hero, which is why I like Geralt. He's more of an anti-hero. He's not like a bad guy. He's more of an anti-hero. He's like a Wolverine, in my opinion. He's not a bad guy, which is why I love Geralt. You know, I love Geralt. I love Wolverine. I love Deadpool. I love those characters. Yeah. Can there be a villain without a hero? I mean, yeah. And I think that, the narrative is always going to be the way you look at it. But, society has painted villains to be bad because heroes are good. But if you look at it from a different point of view, villains are potentially good and heroes are bad. That's one of the reasons that I like The Boys. The Boys paints a different picture. You know what I mean? Yay. You know what I mean? So it just depends on the way that it's the picture's been painted. You know what I mean? Who's good and who's bad? I'm always going to try to kind of get people to think about things in a different kind of light. I know that it doesn't always work that well, but that's why I always troll out about Link and Legend of Zelda. I troll out about all these good guys, Link's whole crew. Really what they did is they came in there and they stole from Ganondorf. They took Ganondorf's land, and that's why Ganondorf's pissed off. This was all a farce, dude. It's Ganondorf's the good guy here. I'm gonna stick to that narrative. I know it's not canon, but I'm just trying to get people. I'm always trying to razz people up a little bit about this whole good guy, bad guy thing. Get people thinking a little bit more about what is what. Yeah, that's true, Ferret. Yeah. So I mean, dude, I like Geralt. I don't necessarily want to see him be dumped off or anything, but I think that in most good stories, the best characters die. That makes you feel it more. Am I wrong? So I think that inevitably we'll probably see Geralt die off because it's going to be a huge clinching thing for fans of the games, right? Yeah, many people would, right? Yeah, like yeah. I always try to I try to spin the narrative sometimes, get people to think about things from a little bit different point of view. Sometimes I'm not very good at it, but I try. I think it's one of those things. I don't know that they'll ever do that to Geralt, but he does live in a very, very volatile, very dangerous kind of environment, and his job obviously puts him at danger all the time, right? Oh yeah, well we know that version's dead for sure. I think the thing here is I don't expect The Witcher to continue being explicitly solely focused on Geralt, to be fair. I think it's already started to kind of turn over into something more focused on other characters. And I think that CDPR is probably at a point where they're going to be pivoting away from at least a sole look at Geralt with, additional characters. It'll be more like either partly Geralt and Ciri and until it moves into full, Ciri and another character or something like that. I could be wrong, but um, Geralt is probably going to remain a big part of it. But do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like there are a lot of like take these movies where people get drawn in and really become um super I guess aligned with certain characters or they really see themselves being um acclimated to a number of characters, but um they get killed off, and it while it sucks and they hate it, you hate seeing that happen. It draws you in more to the show, I think, or the piece of entertainment, because it makes it feel more real almost. You know what I mean? Yo, Florida, what's up? How you doing? You dislike stories where the main characters die, really? I think that it makes it feel more real. I think it makes it feel more engaging and immersive when you know that there's the potential for bad things to happen to anybody. Um, I think that that's why a lot of people have been drawn into shows like Game of Thrones and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Where you can't ever tell exactly what's going to happen. It's always kind of the narrative can just on a whim be turned on its head, and you never quite know. I think that's one of those things that draws people, to be honest. And it draws me. What? Unacceptable! Incredible. Florida, how you been?
Now that we're friends again, is it okay if I pet
Holy
you?
moly! Thanks, dude. Game of Thrones was, yeah, that's why that example came to mind, Florida. Yo, Florida, thank you so much, my friend. 2 months, dude.
For 2
Incredible.
Months. Game of Thrones was unpredictable with those deaths.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, it really was. Dude, people were just getting slaughtered all the time. Work kicking the booty. Yo, I'm sorry. That sucks. I don't know how to Twitch sometimes. What do you mean? Because of the TTS on the resub? It's all right, dude. It worked. It's all right. I really appreciate it. Didn't realize you would read it. Yeah. So anytime that I have it set up in the channel, so anytime basically that anybody does a sub or a resub or anything, you have the option of like inputting text, so it can like read something out to me and the rest of the community, just to like shout you out, stuff, whatever. You can say something fun. You can say Game of Thrones was unpredictable with those deaths, and that's absolutely fine as well. That's awesome, Florida. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate it. So I don't know. Who knows the way it's going to go? But they have said that there will be other characters in here, and Geralt will still be a part of this. But I think the big question is like, how much will Geralt actually be a part of it? What we do know, and here's my hope. My big hope for CDPR moving forward is that moving over to UE5 will eliminate a lot of these issues they've had with releasing games. Moving away from their in-house Red engine and getting to UE5 will hopefully eliminate a lot of these. Because, dude, they are one of the best developers in the industry at content. But they are absolutely abysmal, nightmare fuel at releasing games. It is terrible, and I hate it. And I would love to see them get better. I really would. And I am hoping that their switch over to UE5 will be the start of that. Come on. It's always a bit delayed on the actual redemption. Come on. Flipping shenanigans, dude. You know what I think it is? There's something weird with TTS where if it gets like no, it didn't happen. What I've noticed with TTS is like if it happens too close together, it just doesn't work. It's like if it's too close together, it just doesn't happen. Like if people, so I probably need to put more of it. Like the thing that's tough about it is like if it's a redemption, I can put a delay on it, right? Like there's a delay right now. Nobody else would be able to do text to speech. But if it comes off of like a sub or something, there's nothing I can do about it. So if it's like this situation, like there's a sub, somebody does text to speech, and then somebody does a redemption, there's nothing I can do to like separate the delay between. Yeah, thanks, True. But that's one of the things I've noticed with the TTS stuff. It doesn't like to pop back off if somebody else has TTS'd recently. It's kind of weird. I don't know why. It sucks. Sorry, Ferret. Sorry, buddy. First look at John Cena and shout out again, Florida. Thank you very much, my friend. Incredible. The support above and beyond. Thank you. It's good to see you. I'm sorry work's been brutal. First look at John Cena as Peacemaker in Mortal Kombat 1 video game. You can't see me. Fans have caught their first glimpse of John Cena's Peacemaker character in MK1. Yeah, despite the stupid name, MK1 is the 12th installment in the main Mortal Kombat franchise. I've not been a fan of this name the entire time. This week, fans got their first glimpse of Peacemaker squaring off with the series regular Quan Chi. Okay, and it didn't show up in here, so let's pull it up on YouTube. How about it? Let's do that. Yeah, I'm glad, Flora. I'm glad, dude. That's what it's all about here. You know what I'm saying? You make our morning brighter, too, just so you know. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
You wish to fight?
What, for real?
Not.
Hold on 1 second, guys. Oh, that's really weird. Yeah, it didn't even show us going through. That's odd. Interesting. I've never seen that happen before. Ferret is literally...
Hacker Man. He's the most powerful hacker of all time.
Oh, he refunded himself. That's why. He is Hacker Man. There you go. All right, let's watch Peacemaker intro MK1 here. All right, let's see what Peacemaker. Be aware this is going to be very mature content here. Mortal Kombat always is. It's very gory, very violent, so be aware of that, okay?
Fight.
Hold on. There's somebody flipping, just bumping some old school Tupac, dude. Just crushing it, dude, outside. I was like, bro, I know that song. Oh, god dang it. What's the name of it, dude? Hold on. I got you. Let me, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. Oh, god dang it, dude. It's actually Bone Thugs and Tupac, dude. Thug Love. That's what it is, dude. It's Bone Thugs and Tupac. Yeah. I've got it actually on a playlist in my car right now, dude. Yeah. Bone Thugs, dude. I love me some Bone Thugs. Yeah. Busy was your favorite? Dude, First of the Month is my favorite Bone Thugs song ever, bro. It's the first of the month. I love that song. That's one of my favorite rap songs of all time, actually. Love that song. Crossroads was a banger, yeah. That's like that's like their most notorious song. That flipping song. The first song they made a song back in the day. One of their earliest songs was gnarly, dude. I think it was called Hell Sent. Hold on. Bone Thugs had a song called Hell Sent. This was the first song, Hell Sent. This is the first song that I ever heard from Bone Thugs, and I was hooked. But it's gnarly, dude. It's really, really, really gnarly. So be aware of that. But this is the first song I ever heard from them, and this is probably my second favorite song by them ever because it's what turned me on to Bone Thugs way back in the day. I'll link the YouTube for it. This I don't know if this is going to be. Hopefully, it won't be like a censored version or anything. But here, yeah, I know who Busy is. I know Busy was one of the group, yo. But that's Hell Sent right there. And that was one of their like early songs, dude. It's very, very gnarly, by the way, so just be aware of that. But Crossroads was a banger, dude. Crossroads was an absolute banger. And then yeah, First of the Month was my jam, dude, from Bone Thugs. Here we go, let's watch this.
Put your demons at my command, and we'll talk. Do you think my hand that weak, Bihar?
Anyone who draws power from the Netherrealm
Is destined to be a god among men.
I had hoped our alliance would be more deadly.
All in good time, Shang Tsung.
Is that it, dude? That's all we got? No flipping way, dude. Shut up. Where's it at, dude? Just dialogue? No. Omni-Man fatalities himself? Is that all they were going to show? No way, dude. Well, we might not have anything more than that right now. Than the dialogue. Well, we'll keep paying attention, I guess. Is that all they were saying? Okay, well. We'll keep paying attention. We'll probably get like all the fatalities and stuff here pretty soon. Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah, dude. Yep. That was the first. You know what it was? My sister, I have an older sister, and she was dating this guy who made me a couple of mixtapes, rap mixtapes, way back whenever I was young, dude. And that's what kind of started getting me into rap whenever I was younger. And mixtapes, dude, that's the jam right there. Some mixtapes, bro. And me and my buddy, dude, used to listen to these mixtapes, and that song, Hell Sent, was one of the songs on that tape. And I was hooked, dude, to some Bone Thugs after that. Put on your bunny ears and go to Bullet Hell in Indie Metroidvania TV. Tevi. We've seen this. We've seen a little bit about this, but dude, I love Metroidvanias. This looks kind of cool. Got a bit of a chibi vibe to it. Yeah, that music, dude. Dude, rap back then was just, it was different, dude.
それはとても素晴らしい考えですわね。テビーさんのおうちコーヒー楽しみです。
デビー、なんてことを。
Or you love the music from this, Florida? Is that what you were saying? The music from this? Or are you talking about the old school rap stuff?
前回バトルしてからだいぶ時間経ってるし、覚悟しなさい。せっかく会えたのに、またすぐお別れだなんて。
悪いね、ジョーちゃん。そんな簡単に勝たせられないよ。
どうした？それで終わりか？
This looks dope, dude. I like this. It looks cool. You're liking this music, Ferret? Yeah. I think that might be what Florida was talking about too. I just mistook it for the fact that we were talking about the rap stuff there.
魔界族だけではなく、底知れない漆黒の力を意のままにしていると、
アズとバルハラの住民すべてが滅亡。まさかそんなことが画策されていると仰せなのですか？テビーさん、大丈夫ですか
？I love the bullet hell stuff. Oh yeah, Florida, yeah, word. I love bullet hell games and I love Metroidvanias, dude. So this is something, dude, I would totally be for checking out, man. And apparently it's already out. Indie release also out of Japan, positive buzz. Combination bullet hell Metroidvania RPG stands out among the genre with not just interesting and novel gameplay mechanics, but an emphasis on a longer story and the kind of flashy character design you expect from a Japanese release. The game's primary conceit is that Tevi's gear is all about melee, while her supporting cast dishes out ranged magical attacks and buffs from alongside her. The boss fights are big, bombastic, and wild, requiring deep understanding of the enemy's attack patterns and a quick finger on the dodge keys to avoid waves of lasers and glowing projectiles. To counter this, you need to keep up with the pressure, forcing them into an vulnerable, broken state via consistent attacks. It incorporates a lot of RPG elements with 300-some pieces of gear to discover and upgrade via a flexible system of equipable sigils. While boss fights are the keystones of Tevi, it's not just a boss rush game, lots of story and exploration as well. Early reviewers even seem to say that it does, at times, emphasize a story and objective-driven nature over the exploration of a Metroidvania, though there are still secrets to find. It's already getting really positive reviews, with 92% positive of almost 800 reviews on Steam as of press time. $30 on Steam. Let's pull it up real quick. We love our indie devs, dude. Gotta support them. It's on sale maybe a little bit right now. 10% off. Yep. $27. And it is now at 850 reviews, 92% positive. That's a good look, dude. It's a good look. I'm going to link this. You guys want to take a look? This combines some of the genres that I really love too, man. It's on my wish list already. Talk about like Metroidvania, bullet hell stuff, RPGs. Bro, count me in. We might play this pretty soon, actually. There's a couple of Metroidvanias that I want to play. This as well as, what's the other one? Yeah, dude. Yeah, I want to play that. Where is I know it's in here. Hold on. I could go by release date. Hold on. Let's do that. You like Metroidvanias, there's another one that came out here recently, and I can't think of the name of it. There, it's going to be right here. Last Faith. Last Faith is doing very well as well. They're doing pretty good. 81% positive of 1,300 reviews. This game is $28 as well, and this is a Metroidvania. It's got Castlevania kind of blasphemous vibes to it. So take a look at this too if you like Metroidvanias. This might be one to take a look at here pretty quick. But the Tevi stuff looks really good. I like that. Yeah. And if you need anything out of this article, I'll link the Tevi article as well, okay? There you go, guys. Oh god, the GTA 6 stuff. Hold on. We're gonna talk about that in a moment. Let's get these in first. PS5 Pro could be bundled with GTA 6, but there's bad news for PC gamers. Leaker teases a PS5 Pro GTA 6 bundle. That's kind of a cool aesthetic there, but it looks digitally altered. It doesn't look real. Next year could see the launch of 2 highly anticipated gaming products. They could be, though. Could be. It just looks weird. The PS5 Pro and Grand Theft Auto GTA 6 even better. A fresh leak suggests the new PlayStation console and highly anticipated sequel could be combined into a PS5 Pro plus GTA 6 bundle. According to Alex Smith, a developer who previously worked at Sony-owned Bend Studio and indie developer Ember Lab, PlayStation has secured the marketing rights to GTA 6. This doesn't mean the game will be exclusive to PS5. It almost certainly launch on Xbox Series X as well. However, it means that GTA 6 will be marketed with a focus on its PS5 version. Sony will work with developer Rockstar on cross promotions. PlayStation will have the marketing rights for GTA 6 on PS5 is what's being touted here. Smith claims that one of these promotions will be a PS5 Pro bundle that will likely include the currently unannounced console and a copy of GTA 6 the game. It's not hard to see such a bundle coming an instant bestseller, as the demand for PS5 Pro is likely to be high, and GTA 6 is a near certainty to become one of the best-selling video games in history, if not the best-selling game in history, potentially. The former developer offers no details on pricing or a release date. Also important to note that the above information should be considered unverified. For starters, Sony has yet formally confirm the PS5 Pro, while the GTA 6 bundle does seem pretty logical. Sony/Rockstar released a PS3 GTA 5 bundle in 2013. Until we get official word, this should be classified as a rumor rather than fact. PC gamers might have to wait for GTA 6. In the same social media post, Alex Smith also claims that GTA 6 will not launch simultaneously on PC and console. Instead, it will be released on PC a year after its debut on console. This will cause riots if this is true. People will riot, dude. This would be a blow to PC gamers hoping to dive into the world of GTA 6 as soon as possible. However, Rockstar has a history of releasing PC ports at a later date. GTA 5 was initially released on PS3 and Xbox 360 in September of 2013, but didn't make it over to PC until April of 2015. Same sort of delayed rollout was seen with Red Dead Redemption 2, which hit consoles on October 8, 2018, didn't ride onto PC until November of the following year. Simultaneous release across all platforms would be very welcome, but that hasn't been Rockstar's style in the past, and that may not change with GTA 6. First look is tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock our time here in the channel, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific time. Convert that to your region if you're in another part of the world. We're watching it here live tomorrow morning at probably the middle of our news segment. So at 8 o'clock, we'll be watching this in the morning, okay? There's going to be a lot of pissed off PC players if GTA 6 doesn't release on PC at the same time. Not me. I don't give a crap. There's going to be a lot of pissed off people, though. Steam survey suggests players are leaving 1440p gaming monitors behind. QHD displays could be on the decline. Needless to say, there are quite a few 1440p gaming monitors out there, but Valve's latest Steam survey hits that players are moving away from QHD resolution, while the standard is still sitting pretty in second place just below 1080p. The published statistic might be a sign that players are either finally upgrading to 4K or deciding to harness faster refresh rates at lower resolutions. Here's the thing. I have always been more apt to go for better refresh rate at at the cost of resolution. I want that game to be smooth as butter, whatever I'm playing. I want it to be smooth, baby. High frames, just like it's just swimming. You know what I mean? I don't want it to look like a big flipping stutter fest. Even if, I mean, how are you supposed to enjoy that even if the resolution's 4K or whatever? I just don't understand. You only have to glance at, I mean, obviously best of both worlds is having both, right? But that's not always the case. You only have to glance at the best gaming monitors around and know that 1440p panels are popular. Sure, they lack the definition of fancy 4K models, but playing at lower resolutions is a PC gaming norm. Simply put, there are players who will actively choose QHD displays, but now that both UHD models and the graphics cards required to drive them are getting cheaper, we'll potentially see a big shift towards higher spec screens. Ultimately, that's what Steam hardware survey results for November seem to be implying, as 1440p resolution usage dropped by a whopping 7.17%. Figures are based on a random anonymous sample, so they naturally aren't a definitive representation of every player on the platform. Nevertheless, we're used to seeing minimal percentile differences in usage when it comes to resolutions, and this specific stat sticks out like a sore thumb. What's funny is, like, about a year ago, we had seen where this was increasing significantly, 1440p, right? Was increasing significantly over a drop on 1080p. What this could have been a result of is just a lot more gamers getting more monitors or something that are actually part of the survey around this time period, because 1080p monitors were really, really, really cheap in November, dude. I mean, 2K wasn't bad either. 1440p wasn't bad either. But 1080p monitors were ridiculously cheap, you know, and it could just be that could have been the catalyst behind this. They're just talking about the percentages I was just noting. 4K came in at under 4%. Yeah, remember, it's worth noting this isn't the first time we've witnessed a dramatic display usage dip this year. Back in July, Valve's survey suggested that players were ditching 1080p monitors, but the decrease was by a lesser 2.33%. Should you buy a 1440p gaming monitor? I'm not going to read all this. Look, man, this is the way it goes. Everybody's going to feel a bit different. Everybody has their respective ways in which they like to play games and what appeals more, right? Personally, again, for me, I want that refresh rate. I want a game to just feel smooth as butter whenever I'm playing it. And I'll take that over a resolution increase any day. Obviously, the best thing you can do for a monitor is have something that's good enough to give you as many options as possible. If you have a 4K monitor, they can give you 200 to 300, hertz, then awesome. But that's an expensive monitor. And what I talked about before is, the evolution of technology can be applied to many different parts of hardware where, the initial onset of something becoming consumer based usually is pretty expensive and therefore doesn't get adopted by people very fast. As it continues to be a part of our technology and it's more readily available and it becomes more consumer friendly price point wise, then it's adopted more often, right? And we've seen this evolution happen, whether it was like from 720p monitors to 1080p monitors to 1440p monitors to 4K monitors at varying refresh rates as well, right? And then we've got curved monitors at different sizes and everything like that. And so I think that a lot of what you're going to see here is just an evolution of technology is what's going to drive a lot of these numbers and everything. It's weird that the 1440p dropped so heavily during this time period. I don't know why. Maybe there's something screwy with their reporting numbers. I don't know. But this is always the case with evolution of technology. As things get better and more readily available, people adopt it eventually, and the older technology falls off. Newer technology gets brought in, more people have it, it's utilized more, and things like that. So, um, hiding my messy hair, and I look bald. Is that better? Good morning, dude. Happy Monday. How are you? Um, so that's just what it is, I guess. I think that I mean, you can apply that to about anything. It can be applied to, the transition from like different kinds of storage types, whether it be, I mean, more recently, it's like the conversion from like hard disk drives to solid state drives. Initially the solid state drives were hard to be adopted because they were stupid expensive, but now they're really the price difference is negligible unless you're talking about a big massive storage drive. It's usually more affordable if you're still going for like a big chunky uh, amount of storage on an HDD. It's going to be cheaper than solid state, but otherwise, you're just better off, and more people have adopted it. Caught the vid. What? What are you talking about? Talking about this? Oh, you got the COVID. I thought you were talking about a video. I was like, wait, what? Um, um, well, no, but potentially the rest of my family, maybe. The rest of my family's like, um, yeah, yeah, thanks, dude. I'm sorry that you got it. So my son was throwing up 2 days ago. Yesterday, last night, my daughter was like, I don't feel very good. Now this morning, my wife woke up with a sore throat, and yeah, it's not a good look, dude. So I'm the only one that feels okay right now. The rest of my family's just all jacked up, dude. So, which sucks because, dude, I was just sick at the end of October, um, and like I streamed all the way through it, but it wasn't fun. I don't want to be sick again, dude. I don't want to be sick again. But like my son feels like crap, my daughter feels like crap, my wife's getting sick. It's like, God dang it, dude. It's not a good look. It sucks, dude. But I hope you start feeling better quickly, man. Yeah, it's good to see you, buddy. Let's take a look at this stuff, dude. With both of these next two articles are referencing the same thing, but this is the first we've heard about this. A recent Grand Theft Auto 6 leak on TikTok may have come from a Rockstar Games employee's kid. Stupid kids. Um, I think basically, I think it's weird for people to still see me with like all my hair chopped off too, because I had long hair for like the past year. It's just weird it still looks weird to me for my hair to be gone. It's taken me a while to get used to that. So a TikTok account, this is the a TikTok account posted 2 videos claiming to show a first look at GTA 6. Rockstar Games recently announced the first trailer for the highly anticipated title. GTA Base reports that the leak may have come from a Rockstar employee's child. Step into my office because you're flipping fired. You know what I mean? Um, Purported leaks of Grand Theft Auto 6 footage on TikTok may have come from the child of a Rockstar Games employee, according to reports. UK-based games news site Eurogamer first reported that a TikTok account called IC in 4K uploaded 2 short videos claiming to be a first look at GTA 6 on Saturday. The video showed short clips of what appears to be the game's map. Rockstar Games announced Friday that the first trailer for the highly anticipated game will be released on December 5th, tomorrow. We'll be watching it here live at 8 a.m. Okay? It's being unveiled. It's going to be, is it on there? Let me see here. Probably on their Twitch page. They've already got a countdown timer up, apparently. Let me see here. I'll pull up their Twitch page. Probably YouTube as well. Let's go to their YouTube page. Hold on. What the crappers, dude? Don't do that. Oh, this is it. Yeah, right here. Look. Dude, they got the countdown going already. Check it out. Premieres in 22 hours. Yeah. So we'll be watching that tomorrow. So just be aware of that. Yeah. Yeah. So 8 a.m. here for my time for the channel. It's like 9 a.m. Eastern. That's 6 o'clock Pacific, and then convert that to your own time zone if you're anywhere else. You know what I mean? But it'll be like basically 2 hours after I usually start the stream is when the trailer is going to be popping off, and so in the middle of the news segment we'll be watching it. Yeah. Shortly after the footage was posted to TikTok, GTA Base, a games news site that IGN calls, quote, one of the more trusted accounts covering Rockstar games, reported that it appears the leaked footage has come from the son of a Rockstar Games employee. Rockstar has not verified the authenticity of the leaked footage, nor has it confirmed that any employees' relatives were involved in its release. The evidence to suggest the video has come from someone related to the employee in question is fairly convincing, GTA Base said in a post on X, formerly known as Twitter. Again, if this is true, it's extremely disappointing that this has occurred so close to the official release. In August, a UK court ruled that, yeah, this was the 17-year-old hacker. We know about that. That's all we know right now. Yo, wouldn't have given up on Red Dead and wouldn't have given up on all the other games they have as well.
He's the most powerful hacker of all time.
That's right, Psych. Yeah, this is more... Baited. I'm guessing all this footage has been taken down. It would get DMCA'd out of here too, so they don't want this stuff leaked. Rockstar is going to be DMCAing this. There's no point in us trying to find it during the news segment. You can look for it, dude. It's going to be out there on places. You know what I mean? It'll be out there. You can look for it if you want. I'm one of those people that, like, as far as the gaming industry is concerned, I get tired of companies being forced into divulging information. I don't find it to be something that's healthy for us as the consumer, or the developer, the industry as a whole, as a whole, our relationship between developers and consumers, any of it. So, whether it be information that's hacked, leaked, stolen, I mean, however people get their hands on it, I'm just not a big fan of it. I don't think it's a healthy thing for developers to be put into a position where they're having to talk about information or address information that they weren't ready to divulge yet. We'll get it when they're ready to give it to us, People just need to chill out. There's literally, I mean, there's no point in people doing this. It's not good all the way around, in my opinion. So, but you can go find it. I'm sure it's out there. Again, we'll be watching the trailer that they're releasing tomorrow, and we'll get a lot of information. There'll be a lot of breakdown. People will be dissecting the crap out of it, man. So it's it's not far away. We're gonna get the trailer tomorrow. It'll be a ton of information in it, I'm sure. As well as, I'm guessing, potentially a window for release. I don't think it's going to be a definitive window, but I think there's a pretty good chance, at the very least, we'll get like a window for a release of the game. But like we just read, it sounds like they are giving publishing rights to PlayStation, meaning that it doesn't look like we're probably getting this on PC on release. And I think that PC gamers are going to kind of riot about that. I am not, but We'll see what happens. Steam users are free. Look, this is I wanted to end on this. This is big news, guys. You probably can't see this title all the way, but look at this. Steam users free to resell their digital games, court rules. This has been something that is a big reason why so many people still want physical games. The digital space has gotten so gross with us not being able to actually manage our digital libraries the same way we can handle our physical libraries. That it's a turnoff for a lot of people. You can't resell your games. You can't give away your games if you don't want them anymore, anything like that. It's a pretty unfortunate side of the digital space of gaming, right? But if this is true, and this has actually happened, and I'll be fair, Gaming Bible is a pretty clickbaity kind of site, but you can't read this in going through news articles and not look into this to see if it has any kind of legitimate context for us to dive into. Because if it does, and if this is true, the implications that this holds for the rest of the gaming industry all the way around, for other PC platforms, for console platforms, whether it be Xbox, Nintendo, PlayStation, Epic, GOG, I mean, you name it. You know what I mean? Here's the difference. If you paid for the games on that platform, you should own them, and you should be able to do whatever you want with them, just like you did with physical games, because they're yours. And unfortunately, the digital space has always been off-putting for a lot of people because they haven't allowed you to. But if this is true, this is going to be a domino effect, and it's going to affect all these other gaming companies and platforms that are going to have to allow now you to manage your digital library in this capacity, to resell or give your games to other people or what have you. Let's take a look at what's going on here. It's a hot topic amongst gamers. Do you prefer physical or digital media? I'm team physical. If I'm downloading a game off a service like PlayStation Plus or Xbox Game Pass, I don't mind the fact it's digital. But if I'm pre-ordering a game, it's likely to be something I'm going to want a physical copy of. One issue with digital copies is the lack of ability to resell, something you can far more easily do with a physical copy if you're tired of a certain game or just don't like it as much as you thought. The tide may be changing, though, as the Court of Justice of the European Union has ruled that publishers cannot stop you from reselling downloaded games, including on popular storefronts like Steam. As reported by Eurogamer, the court decreed that, quote, an author of software cannot oppose the resale of his used licenses, allowing the use of his programs downloaded from the internet, adding that the exclusive right of distribution of a copy of computer software covered by the license is exhausted on its first sale. Very interesting indeed. Goes without saying that this ruling specifically applies to those who reside in a European Union member state and applies to a wide array of storefronts, including Steam, Epic Games, and Origin, regardless of what end user license agreement has been signed. Like I was just saying, now the thing that is specifically appropriate here for most of us to take into consideration is this is a European Union member state, but it does at least get the ball rolling for other regions of the world to start addressing this issue. If it's been taken care of in the European Union, that means that it's applicable to be started addressing this in other parts of the world. Therefore, even if the license agreement prohibits a further transfer, the right holder can no longer oppose the resale of that copy. The ruling continued. Eurogamer further pointed out that the ruling suggests that if you've purchased a license for a game off a friend, it's within your rights to download that game from the publisher's website. Therefore, the new acquirer of the user license, such as a customer of used soft, may, as a lawful acquirer of a corrected and updated copy of the computer program concerned, download that copy from the copyrighted holder's website, explained the court. This is positive news for consumers, although it awaits to be seen how digital storefronts will adapt to help facilitate such changes. There are issues with this as well, though. Let's be clear, okay? This is great. It needs to be this way, right? There are also issues that need to be addressed as far as what are going to be the rules around this to prevent people from just buying a game and then go, oh, I'm going to sell this to my friend for a cent. They download it. Go, I want to sell this to my other friend for a cent. They download it. Sell this to my other. You know what I mean? There's going to have to be rules and regulations around what is acceptable and not acceptable on this front. It needs to be. This needs to happen, right? We own this stuff. Yeah. There's also going to be rules and regulations around if you got a product for free, you're not going to be able to do that kind of thing, I don't think. Just give it away or sell it. If you got it for free, you're definitely not going to be able to sell it because that doesn't make sense, right? They're going to have to differentiate between these kinds of products and everything. Like Epic. Dude, how many games do you guys have on Epic? I have like close to 300. I've paid for like 3 of them. They're going to let you just sell those now? No, I don't think so. You know? So there's going to be a lot of discussion and terms that come along. Terms that come along about what you can and cannot do. But this is good. This is a step in the right direction. And look, I mean, I understand I'm a very nostalgic kind of person. I don't really sell my stuff. I don't resell my stuff. I don't, I never really have. I've held on to almost all my gaming hardware and software. But I understand the pull, the appeal for people that have traditionally bought into physical because this is the way they address their collections. They buy, they play, they sell. They buy, they play, they sell. And for the digital front of where, and it's been inevitable that we've been moving this way. PC's been here forever, right? Console has not. Console's been much slower to adopt and transition into the digital realm of gaming. This is and has been an issue for a very long time. And to see it finally being addressed and addressed appropriately is good. Now it needs to be addressed in the rest of the world as well. We will watch this tomorrow. We are watching the Game Awards on Thursday here. Okay, so I have gotten my schedule adjusted. We are, excuse me, that's not a good look, dude. Coughing without laughing, not a good look. We are going to be watching this live. It pops off at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time, or 6:30 p.m. Central time. That's our time here. So about 12 and a half hours, roughly, after we normally start streaming, 12 and a half hours, this will start. So we're probably looking at roughly a 14-hour stream on Thursday, okay? Get your comfy clothes on. Make sure you got plenty of flipping snacks, dude. So we're going to be watching this live together. Not the coughs. I know. I feel like I haven't even gotten rid of my cough since I was sick at the end of October, man. And now it's like coming back in. Family's got me sick. Oh, boo. So sad. I hate being sick, dude. I don't want to be sick. But Rockstar's GTA 6 trailer we'll be watching during the news segment tomorrow at 8 o'clock my time, CST. And then on Thursday, after our day off, we'll be having a 14-hour stream roughly. That way we can fit in the Game Awards at the end of the stream, okay? We'll be watching it all here. We will not end the stream until the Game Awards are over. Cool? That's the play. Whoa, look at all the emotes, man. Cool, let's turn on some music. Nice. You guys rock, dude. I appreciate you. We're going to move on and play some Alan Wake 2 for the rest of the day. Cool. So, thanks to everybody who was part of the news segment today. Let's go, Psych. Shake Weight Jam, baby. Appreciate you guys very much. Thanks for being the amazing people you are. Always being a constant part of what we do here in this community, man. Helping to make an amazing place for all of us to be and just hang out. Enjoy the world of video games, It's what brings us together, but being the amazing people you are to, just cultivate such a great space for all of us to be and lift each other up all the time, man. It's such a cool thing, dude, and I appreciate it very much. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna play some games as we do, man. Shout out to Florida this morning for the 2-month resub. Thank you, my friend. And 2 days ago, dude, we had the 7-month resub by Vault. Thank you. Appreciate it, you guys. If anybody's hanging out and you're not familiar with what we do here, this is the way we start out on almost all of our streams. So we're live 6 days a week normally. Wednesdays are our normal day off. We start off with video gaming news, trying to stay current with what's going on in the industry. And then we move on and play games for the rest of the day, as we're about to do right now. We have all of most of our previous content for whether it be video gaming news or playthroughs that we've done of games or funny clips and highlights. All that content's on the Twitch page and the YouTube channel as well. And if you guys are enjoying what you're seeing right now, then I would prompt you to go take a look at some of that other content that we've done. And if you're enjoying it, come be a part of what we do while we're live. Again, 6 days a week, every day but Wednesday, roughly starting at 6 a.m. CST, CDT. And we're always looking for more cool people to be a part of what we do. Spreading good vibes, man. And just trying to promote a world of civility and being void of toxicity and having a good time. Spreading good vibes, man. So if that seems like a cool thing to you, then come be a part of what we do. All right. Other than that, man, stay healthy, stay safe, be kind to one another. Happy flipping Monday. And we'll be back tomorrow with more video gaming news for December 5th. Stream's not going down. I'm going to run us an outro so it can kind of segue us out of this video gaming news segment, and then we will get prepared to start playing some video games. Stream's not going down. I'll be right back.